Welcome in. Welcome in, girl greatness. It's the end, but the beginning. But the beginning. I'm excited to experience the women tonight. I have seen women pretty much my whole life um, in a way that I don't think a lot of women get to see women. I grew up with women. I watched women as I grew into a woman. Then I became a woman leader. Well, I worked with women in the workplace as a nurse. And I'm fixing this lipstick. Yeah, I like, Lori, yeah, we can get dressed like the dream. You can get the dream, but then there's just little pieces that you got to get right. And when you see it, you got to fix it, especially dark chocolate lipstick. So I was saying, I grew up with women. I became a woman. And as I grew into a woman, I got to learn women. I work with women in the workplace. And you learn so much about women when you pay attention. So I paid attention. And then I became a woman leader. And selling real estate was probably one of the most profound times in my life of serving women, because I began to get integral with women's fears and women's ideas and how women express themselves when they're either making big moves, right? And or they're trying to come out of a situation. It's one or the other. So in this case, when women were making big moves because they were buying a real estate property, whether that be their first time home, their second home, or an investment property. I didn't have a lot of women buying investment property. So that's a whole discussion as to why I know we tell ourselves certain stories and our stories seem to have limits to them. We can muster up enough courage to buy our first home. We walk through it. We walk through it diligently. As to why it's such a big deal, I mean, there was a time women couldn't own anything. So I completely get that. Women couldn't own a home, couldn't have a bank account unless her husband was in charge. I mean, unless she got it through her husband. That was law in the U.S. And then as we go around the globe, we watch women's suffrage be a whole entire community of women across the globe. And there are still communities across the globe, right? Africa, UK, especially in Africa, where women are still held to a certain standard of how she's supposed to be. There are communities just in the US, within communities, where women's voices are silenced or they have a place. And right now we're dealing with a election process here in the US, as so many around the globe have had elections. One comes to mind, in Europe, that election process. I find it very, very, very disturbing that as women, we are being asked to go back. Actually, we're being told to go back. And I can't believe that we will stand for that. We got to become more vigilant about what's going on. What story are we ready to tell the new age woman? And if you're in this century, you're the new age woman. What story are we willing to tell? That's the question that is on my mind. So I brought a group of women with me to help you dream into action and tell a new story. Tonight is about transformation. We've talked dreamers inspiration. We've talked dreamers momentum. And now we're going to talk dreamers transformation. As we close out tonight, we're not closed. We're not closing out. Tomorrow, those of you who attended tonight are going to get a special gift code to get your dreamer's box. I'm going to unveil the box tonight, share with you what the box comes with, and you're going to get an opportunity to get a link tomorrow that will give you a code. And that code tomorrow will allow you to get a major discount on your box and have that box for your Thanksgiving, and it's going to be grand. So, telling a story. Our first speaker will come on around about 10 more minutes or about 15 more minutes. I want to just share with you about dreaming into action. Dream a new story. Dream a new story. When we feel that we've gotten this dream and it's ours, and we then have several other feelings that go along with it. We've discussed that, so I don't want to rehash that. I want to start right here. I personally learned to manage how I feel. And I'm still working on various iterations of my feelings and layers of my feelings. But what we have really come far with, let me reframe all of this because I don't like the way that's going. Let me jump back in a different way. Hold tight. Mm-hmm. 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 We as women feel so often that we need freedom. We get really, really frustrated. We get really stuck inside of this experience where when we feel like life is challenging and life is full of obstacles and we're not experiencing what the dream that we are living in says we should be experiencing, we start to become filled with anxiety. We start to get sick. We have dis-ease in our bodies, which creates disease eventually. Autoimmunes. We start breaking out in hives. We start having irregular menstruals. We start not having a menstrual. Our hair starts to thin or fall out. We start experiencing one drama after the next, which turns into trauma. And which, if we're aware of it, we recognize it was all because of the frustration, the confusion, the obstacles, the challenges that we are feeling that has stopped us from reaching our dreams or around our dreams. So we feel we need to get outside of this and get to freedom. In order to get this dream, we got to become less bothered. In order to get this dream, we have to become less bothered. When I wrote that, I thought, now, Laura, you hit something right there. We start to question ourselves when we get into this place of confusion. Back to that. We start saying things to ourselves. We heard today from Julia Pimser, which you have to go back and look at the replay if you're just joining me or you are here tonight and you really want to be, right, set free in your mindset. There is an acronym that she created called T-Bear, and you want to get it. You want to go big, you need to read about how and what right strategies you take to go big, to get into action, to go big. No one taught you how to go big, right? Most of us never was taught how to go big. She talks about that. But yet she was able to sell her company and raise from an investor $3 million. It is important because I started thinking, I was in my kitchen in between breaks today, and I'm like, I am about to do something different than I've ever done before. I'm going to play a different game. And I'm saying this to you. I'm going to give myself an opportunity to live out a new dream story. How many of you in this very moment did that just touch? I've been inside of a couple of different stories, but this one, I don't want this story to have all the drama. I don't want this story to start speaking to me through frustration and confusions around things that are no longer, things that thwart the dream or get in the way, or I have to deal with challenges. I don't want that to be the story of how most of us start to feel. That's when it becomes drama, right? And we become bothered. Am I good enough? How can I put it? I should quit. I procrastinate too much. My husband and me, there's too much drama. He won't let me do anything. I have to hide from him. And you start preventing yourself from the belief that the universe and the heavens and God has in you, or Allah has in you. You start to prevent that from manifesting the dream because you're stuck in the drama. And we create it for ourselves. We do. We create most of what we experience for ourselves because it's how our perspectives are. It's how we walk down the street in that matter, in that moment. It's how we suddenly, right, respond, automatic responses. That challenge, what's our first response? The challenge to the dream, you're working on your dream planning for your first big client. Something happens, an obstacle, right? A doo-doo starts to happen. And what is your first response, which is called automatic processing? What is the first things you start to say to yourself? The first things that you start to say to yourself is where your mindset is. And that may be the story that you've been living in that you need to tell yourself something different about. Have you ever been in a situation around a dream, which is a goal, vision, idea, an aspiration? You saw the opportunity very clear. The dream has got all these opportunities to it. But yet, you surrounded yourself at every single moment with the what is and the what is and the hows. You forgot to trust the magic. You forgot that there is the power of laws of attraction, what you think, what you get. You see the possibilities. You see the opportunities, but you cannot see it in the right frame because you have lived in a story. You've revisited a story of yourself that shows up at every turn. Meanwhile, if you stop, because many of us live this way as women, if you were to stop and you were to just think a little differently, you were to, number two, notice for a minute or two how this really looks. If you had the skills, right, the transformational skills to step out of it and take a look at it, you could prevent yourself from going that way. We tell ourselves a story. I want to submit to you tonight, the biggest thing you got to do without all the other, with all the other things I've been teaching is tell a new story. This old story is false beliefs. This old story is false beliefs. And as this false belief becomes more and more and more, it becomes a life form. It becomes a life form. It becomes a form of our life. And this story, the script runs in everything we do. Not just putting a dream into action. Our entire experiences on this earth, right? What I know from my own personal experience, what I know from my studies, our entire experiences on this earth is determined by how we perceive a thing. How we perceive it. How we perceive it is a choice, right? And there's some tragic things that have happened in my life that I'm sure in yours. That's why I chose the women I chose. We rise up beyond the challenges, beyond the obstacles to realize dreams. There's a musician that comes to mind, even though it's girl time. I'm really fond of people who overcome adversity. You have Ray Charles and you have Stevie Wonder. Those two come to mind. And Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, both blind. One became blind a little bit later as a little boy, and then the other one born blind. The bottom line is they both ended up in the same story. I'm blind. They both have the same story. I'm a musician. They both have the same story. I'm a musical icon. Music that has transcended a generation. They both traveled differently, but the same in many ways. Why am I telling you this? You're not the only one. You're not the only woman. So don't think you're in this entire experience traveling the planet, determined to get your goals into action alone. We don't walk alone. We don't walk alone. What I want you to do to get a new story, first I want you to recognize, number one, that you may be wrapped in a certain story. And the only way you're going to do that is if you write out your story. We oftentimes are trudging through life and we just don't tell that side of the story. You know, we now got Instagram, we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we got TikTok, we have X, which, no, I don't want to mention them. We have various social media platforms where we get to smile. One of my books I want to write is dealing with smiles. What is really going on with you behind the smile? Someone asks you, how are you really doing? Are you preventing the truth to come? Are you prepared to give the truth? What's your story? I think people ask the question to be polite. They pretend to want to know, but they don't really want to know the story, because I've tested it. They'll say, well, how are you today? And I said, well, today it was, and they go, oh, okay. I didn't even say what today was to me. It's time to tell a new story, which what I mean is to dream a new story. Dream a new story. I was doing my evening walk and I wanted to find out, did the universe hear me? So I spoke into the universe. No, I wanted to speak to the universe to hear me. And I spoke into the universe that I'm ready now. My head is down and I'm ready to get to work, to dream a new story. I've known this story that I'm aware of for as far as too long. Is why I'm about to finish this book, release it out into the world, and I'm going to create a new story because there's an infinite sea of possibilities waiting on me. My life is not finished. My dreams are not done. For every woman who died prematurely due to an illness, a tragedy like domestic violence, a car accident, which is a tragic accident, any other type of accident, childbirth, I'm sure her story was not finished. Her dream story was not formed. So we play with this. We play with this because we don't know how to create, deeply create. We only really know how to get wrapped into what we know. But to get unwrapped, we have to unlearn. To get into action, we will have to unlearn the previous stories. Give it credence, give it a space to exist, but we'll have to learn something new about our new story that wants to come forward, right? Right now, in the way the world is working on a global level, if you look around you, you will be able to count. You will be able to count all of the chaos. This is happening, that is happening, that's negative, that's not in alignment with the way humanity should be working. Wars seem to be a part of the fiber of how humanity speaks now. Right now, if you look around, you will see disruption everywhere you turn. You can call it whatever you want to call it, whatever it looks like to you in where you are located, right? Whether you're in Africa, you're in the UK, in Canada, you can call it inflation. It's a disruption. It's a disruption to the way that you want to dream. You can call it entrepreneurship is hard for women, women of color, underserved, undervalued, underrepresented women. You can call it whatever disruption name you want to give it, but you can count them. They are plentiful. But what I want you to do is observe, how are you wrapped in the stories? What do the stories of these disruptions mean to you? And how can you create something out of the dreams you have to address these disruptions? I'm asking the same question of myself. Lastly, you ever notice you changed something and something else changed? It can be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. You can choose to change it in a nanosecond. A light bulb, a Kairos moment. When you know that you know that you know. Because here's what I don't want it to continue to be for you. While I am sitting inside of the Dream into Action Summit, I've gotten so many downloads. I've gotten confirmation. I know that I'm an influential woman. I know that I'm a successful woman. I know that my dreams, basically, I don't have the desire to waste any more time. I don't have the desire to make any more excuses. You're like, Laura, you were making excuses, you waste of time. We all do that. We're human. We're not perfections. We're not robots. I just do it well. That's all. Just the difference. I don't want to live inside of woe is me. I don't want to tell a story that holds up my manifestation. I want to let go. Right now, I want to ask you to do something. I want to ask you the simple thing. If you do the simple thing, I want to ask you to let go. I'm looking down because I'm feeling it myself. To change something in a moment, for it to change in a nanosecond, we'll have to let go. I want you to let go of any part of the story, right, that no longer serves you, because they're just that. There are stories, and you get to change the story. You get to do a new story. You get to have a new story, and they can be rewritten at any time. You are the author of your story. But before you let go of your story, you got to get clear on what they are. I'm writing a book and I'm releasing those stories. I'm getting ready to turn the page. Like Kamala Harris said here in the US, for the biggest election, I think, in our time, other than the Kennedys and Barack Obama. We can go back to George Washington, but there is some significant moments in time, and I believe we're sitting in one. So you're gonna have to become aware of the story that you've been telling yourself. Listen specifically for the sentences that you align with your story. We're being called to a new story. The dream is going to be a new dream, a new part of the dream, an expansion of the dream. It's going to be a new. And in order for that to happen, you got to know that you are the author of this story. And you got to become aware. For it to change in a moment, you got to become aware. What stories are you telling? What stories have you been wrapped up in? I don't care how bad it's gotten. You can get all wrapped up into that story and none of the dreams still fulfill themselves. Your revenue doesn't go up if you're an entrepreneur. Your children don't get to go to the school of their choice for college because you get wrapped up in your daddy left or your mama left. And here's the problem with that. These stories predict, these stories provide, these stories push us forward. They do all that. They produce or they don't. And I know the opposite when they don't. You can feel it in your body. You know you can feel it before you even experience it. Your body tells you. We talked about that. Why some women can't get into action because they stop feeling. And in this moment, I want you to feel again. I want you to feel. So if you begin any stories that you have from this day forward, okay, that begin with these, then guess what? You're going to definitely need to call on a new story. I never, I can't, I should. I really don't do well at that. I wish I had. I want to, but I will later. I will when. I don't have. Oh, that one. I don't have. Don't you just know every time you use that one in a sentence, you really won't have? How about I declare I have? I demand of this universe in heaven that I have one day. I'm trying. Oh, this one here. I'm hopeful. And when you know you're not, you know truthfully you're not. But all these stories can be rewritten. Forgive tonight. Tonight, give yourself permission to trust what Lori is telling you. Forgive. It ain't about how much money you make or how much money you rolling with or have. Some of the most incredibly blessed and abundant, vibrant people, they're the millionaire next door. They got $1 million, but they live on a whole new vibe, a whole nother level. We've put money close to happiness. We've equated money, a lot of us have, right? Not all of us, to dreams being fulfilled. And I'm ready. I'm ready to take you somewhere. Our next guest, she didn't just stumble around. You could bring her on the screen. Team, thank you so much for bringing Tanisha on the screen. She didn't just stumble around. I got a little bit of her story. I read a little bit about her. And she gets to tell you best. And we're going to have a conversation. But she didn't just stumble around. Am I right, Tanisha? You didn't just stumble around.
That's right. I didn't.
Because stumbling is for, when you have no direction about what you want. I mean, we stumble and fall at times. And I know you shared a little bit with us at the speakers call we had the other night about, stumbling. You shared something that was profound that I want to start with, if you're okay with that. And you look fabulous, and you look green, and you look real green. And I look real
Yeah.
pink. Look at that smile. Y'all know she do. And I say, y'all, my southern drawl. Y'all know she do uh beauty faces.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at that face.
Thank
Oh,
you.
my face. I can't wait to come get my face done on a regular basis. Because when I'm in Toronto now, I had some face debacles each time I was there because I didn't know you.
I got you covered.
Thank you. I am excited. Yes. So let's tap into, because I know we ain't got a lot of time, but we're going to make the use of it. I believe your story, you didn't stumble around. I believe you were very, very descriptive. You just come off to me that way. But you had a moment. You said 12 years ago, you lost your husband. Can we start there?
Sure.
Let's go there. You ready for that? You didn't know I was going there?
I didn't know you were going there, but I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was and first off, before I even start, I just want to say thank you. You know, I want to say thank you, Lori, for not just for having me here, but for what you are doing for all of these women that are tapping into this platform and, learning and growing from what you've decided to do. And I just really want to applaud you for that. And I'm grateful to be able to be a part of this.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here with me.
Thank you. As Lori said, my name is Tanisha Wilson. I am your beauty expert. And I have been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. Through beauty, I now like to use it as a way to empower women to just walk in their own uniqueness. And I've always had a love for that and helping to build women's confidence. But 12 years ago, my outlook changed through loss. And so now I use it as a way to empower women to, put their foot forward despite the adversities that they may face. It was unexpected. I'm a mother. I always tell people I'm a mother first. I,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
my children are now 28, 24 next month, and 16. And so that was at a time that my youngest was 4. And, I was at the height really of another business. And it was in health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And he passed. And we weren't legally married, but we were common law, so still my spouse. And everything changed. My whole world changed. All of our lives changed. Something that we were very unprepared for, and didn't quite know how to work through it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest that the way in which I started to work through it was not necessarily the best way.
Okay.
In terms of just pushing through and not acknowledging the pain, because we're moms and we still have to make things happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, but I've learned so much along the way, and that is what I try to impart so that others can, you know, deal with whatever adversities they face. And I'm sure we'll get into it a little deeper.
Yes, we're gonna dive right in there. So I could stay there for 3 hours because we can unpack that, right?
Right.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna segue because I just was teaching on dreaming a new story.
Mm-hmm.
So you have successfully done that.
I have.
You've done it. Okay. You're still leaving space for the 12 years ago, but it doesn't seem to have you stuck.
No, no. And I would be lying if I said there was not a period in time within which I felt stuck,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because I did. There was a time that I did, but I will also say that it was not for long.
mm-hmm. And that is what we're talking about. The dream did not guarantee us that it didn't. it didn't have mountains and valleys. The dream doesn't guarantee that.
That's right.
An unexpected tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
or that you will have to course correct. Like you say, you were at the height in a different part of your wellness and health and wellness, which beauty does extend from that.
That's right.
So you had an extension of the dream still fulfilled because something else, a new story was evolved out of such a tragedy. I can only imagine, and I'm gonna move on. I can only imagine your man leaves the house and he doesn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to prepare that he's not coming back.
None.
That requires a woman to go to this next question, turning adversity into empowerment to uplift other women around you, creating legacy through resilience. What does that look like? How did you do that? Women stop right there, Tanisha. That is it. Like some
Yeah.
women seriously have lost their self right there, and she didn't come back.
Yeah.
How did you do that? How did you use resiliency, that word,
To come back.
to come back?
I want to talk to the woman that is in that moment now where they feel stuck, because
Okay.
it happens to the best of us. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. What matters is that you can't stay there. And what helps you to not stay there, which is your question, is understanding why you started in the first place,
Very
right?
much.
Yeah, understanding why you started in your first place. We talk a lot about the why. And that was something that was so new to me when I learned how important the why is. Why do we do what we do every day?
Mm.
And I've learned to break the why down to as simple as, why am I going here? Why do I want to be in this environment? Why do I want to converse with this person? Why am I wanting to do this business? The why is everything. It is so important. And so when you really are able to ask yourself the whys and go back to, why is it that you should get up? That's what's gonna make you get up. That's what's gonna help you to put your next foot forward.
Can I imagine that part of that why, to dream again through all of the tragedy, one of those realities, and not to pretend that those children were not there looking at you?
Hmm.
They were looking.
Yeah.
Some women don't have the children to, motivate her, but they also had to be, for you, a rewriting of a new story. So you did that. You're here with me right now. You're a successful woman. It was
Hmm.
really, really weird. And I love how weird works. You and I were connected on social. You went to connect with me. You was like, we're already connected. I was like, yes, yes, I saw you. I've seen you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were already supposed to be connected. That's because you are a Black woman harnessing your strengths. What are some of those strengths that you harness that maybe, I want to go a little deep in here. We
Mhm.
talked about this briefly when I met you in, again, face to face in Toronto. There are some women that get really, 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 let's just put it like this, just a little half-ass about women that are successful. I want to
Right.
break that down a little bit. Dreaming into action will bring success if you get into action and you remain in the action. There's success that comes along with it through all the obstacles, the challenges, the hits, the blows, the lows, the highs. And you kept moving. You rewrote a new story. You created some successes. Then tell me, how do women redefine themselves on their own terms and not look at the women that are successful on their terms? We need to really, we really need to settle that for women.
The only way to do that is to really get to know who you are
That's right.
and operate in full authenticity. Lori, it's funny because here it is that I came to speak here tonight. And as I was getting ready, I was at work earlier, and as I was getting ready with very little time, I said to my daughter, "Oh, shoot, should I go on with these green eyebrows?"
I love them eyebrows.
And she says, own it, girl. You always say that. And so
Mm,
this is it. It's learning that it is okay to be yourself
yeah.
and not try to fit into societal norm. I believe that when you are really able to do that and to be comfortable in your own skin, in your own uniqueness,
Mm.
that is where you will harness the greatest strength in anything that you want to do.
You know how many times we hear it? We hear it differently, but you said it so because your daughter is experiencing, so we know she's going to be a bad girl, great girl. She's going to do great things, right? Because she was able to give you back what you've given her
Yeah,
in a moment you needed her, just in a moment. Because if
yeah.
you had taken those green eyebrows off, I'd have been mad because I needed those green eyebrows tonight. Listen,
Uh-huh.
so are we cultivating this strength? One of the questions that me and my team pose for you
Hmm.
through generational. Is this a generational cultivated through generational resilience or to redefine this thing on our own terms? Or is it something we got to learn like in this new time? Is it generational? Is it something that was generationally passed down to you?
I believe resilience definitely, especially as a Black woman, is generational. It really is.
Yes.
It's in our bloodline. We come from it. We are here because of the resilience of our forefathers, of those who came before us, and we have it within us.
Mm,
What
mm.
sometimes hampers it is just the very thing of being too concerned about what the next person thinks and not really allowing yourself to operate in the fullness of who you are. But we do possess the resilience.
What if we could really operate in the fullness of who we are? We talked about that day one,
Mhm.
loving ourselves, putting the mask on you first. We talked about all of that to get dreams into action. What if, Tanisha, we could operate in the fullness of who we are? Here I am with the mauve colors and the red hair with pink all on. Here you are with green hair and green doggone. Okay. Now you know I want some of that. In the fullness of who I am, I love color, so I want green, I want pink. And Jessica don't say a word. I want it. So I think this authenticity that you have, the strategies, do we have some strategies that we could help her with? That when she's faced with this question, who am I? On my own terms, I dream this thing. I I believe she needs a little guidance in that, maybe some practical steps to get there. And one, I would say, start to get one lady sharing just beat, meaning the face beat, right? Okay, that's
Mhm.
what she means. My glasses on. Yep, just beat. So what if women had got more beats, decorated themselves a little more, right?
Mhm.
But what if we could actually turn that into dreaming into action? And what if we could turn that into moving forward? And what if we could have that as our true north of authenticity? Is there any strategies you have? Because I know you work with women, you were in the health and wellness business. So you had teams and stuff that you work with. You were a leader. So how did you help them in this time?
So, and I'm glad you asked that because it all sounds good and well. And women may be here thinking, okay, that's fine, operate in your authenticity, be yourself. I wasn't always this way. Okay. So not only am I a Black woman living in North America, that there are many societal standards that have been placed for me to fall within the walls of that standard.
Okay.
But I'm also Jamaican. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
And so I come from a very rigid upbringing where this is what you do, this is how you conduct yourself, this is how you dress, this is how all of those things that have been outlined. Uh, Being in the presence of women like yourself, putting yourself out there and allowing you to tap into information that you don't know, because we don't know what we don't know,
That's correct.
right? It has to be
Mhm,
such an intentional part of the journey. If you know that, because you feel it within, you feel
mhm.
when you are not being yourself.
do.
I've always been a creative, and I am thinking back to times where I know that my parents, not intentionally, but they did stifle my creativity at a point because I needed to fit into this box.
Okay.
And so, you know, we get to a place where we know that this is how we're feeling. And the only way really is to learn it, is to tap into more things like this. You
Mhm.
know, put yourself in the right rooms and in front of the right people. And I keep saying right because you also have to know who you're allowing into your ear gates. You have to be intentional. So, you know, yes, you can attempt to role model what you're seeing out there and saying, oh my God, Tanisha wears green
Mhm.
eyebrows. I would really love to do that. But you can. If that's really your thing, you can, but you have to learn how to unlearn the things that you learned before, right? And
Mhm.
so that's one of the ways in which that, you know, you can start understanding who you are, you know, delving deeper into who you are and allowing yourself to be a little more free, you know. uh Self-development was huge. It's a massive part of my journey. I will never stop. I can't
Mhm.
stop because as you continue to grow, you have
Mhm.
to learn more, you know? And it's so imperative that you put yourself in a place where you are learning. And with that piece comes a change in your community,
Mhm.
because where you are now may fit who you are now.
That's
But are you
true.
really being who you are supposed to be? And so as you start to become yourself, your true self, you're gonna have to make some changes. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, but you got to know what you really want. You have to make those changes. And so having the right community around you too is another strategy. You know, don't be afraid to, you know, reach out to persons
Very
that
true.
see, you know, strike up conversations, ask information. If you
Mhm.
have never, you know, gone to a really big conference and you're not so sure if you should be, you know, spending large dollars, then start small. But you've got to start, right? That's the only way
Gotta
you're going to
start.
learn.
Gotta start. That was fully loaded. It's got laws of attraction in that answer. It has the power of manifestation. It has intentionality. I see that's being posted. It has um learn over and over and over. So I want everyone to catch this. I want you to really dive into this. So our entire experience on this planet, it's about learning.
Mhm.
And we're going to roll into some times where and sit in some spaces where it feels like we learned a lesson that was not one we wanted. Been there, done that.
Tell me about it.
But right. But really, we can't tell you, Tanisha and I can't tell you not to do it. We're telling you to do it. As long as it's safe enough that you're coming back home.
That's right.
We are the kind of women. It's the reason I called on these women. We're not forcing ourselves to do anything anymore, but we are showing up. Now, you may have to force yourself if you're at that place. There are times we have to get a gentle push, but we're not in the force business anymore. So I want to open it up for you to say all of the things that you want to say about what success looks like being in action to you. Like your whatever you feel in this moment, you've been wanting to say all day, all week to this group about what success feels like in this moment, but in any previous moments, dig in on that because the floor is yours.
Success in action feels like peace.
Mm. Oh, that's good.
It feels like peace. And I'm talking about inner peace within. You know, and I believe that is the biggest thing for me, the most grandeur. You feel it when you know that you are on the right path, is when you know that you feel that sense of peace.
Mm. Yeah.
Success in action is again, I'm going to use that same word. It's the authenticity. You will never feel successful or really truly achieve the highest level of success meant for you until you're able to be authentic. You may have some success, you know, and that's why I want to say you won't have the highest level of success that's truly meant for you. You know, because sometimes we get to a level and we think that, wow, this is amazing. And we don't even realize that we're just scratching the surface. Because I know for sure I'm not remotely close to where I am meant to be. And so
Yes.
it's a work in progress.
Mhm.
And, you know, sometimes I have to remind myself of things because, you know, I'm almost 49. You're talking about years of learning. And now I'm having to do the work still to unlearn some things as I go along. You know, so there's
Me
reminder,
too.
you know, so it's growth. Success in action is growth. You're
Yes.
always growing. Anything ain't growing dead. Yeah.
And your Jamaican just came out.
It just came out, huh?
Yeah.
Anything that's not growing is dead. The trees grow, it's alive.
I loved it though. You went from Canadian to Jamaican. I love it. Oh, I
Right.
love it. So I got this really great question. This is our final one. Shoot, I don't want to stop. We as women of color, you know, Black women, women from the deep roots of Jamaica, Africa. I'm African American, but I feel African and Jamaican. You can't tell me that I am. Okay. And don't try to, and I tell when I go speak in different arenas, I just spoke at a conference called I Am Africa, and every woman was African. And I
Right.
told them on that stage, like, listen, let's get one thing straight first, Tanisha. I am your sister. I am from Africa. I just happen to be in America way too long. So let's just start right there.
That's it.
And don't let my voice fool you because it just got connected over here and I can change my voice if you teach me to speak properly.
Yeah.
The
All you gotta know
language.
to say is big up.
And look at your squad out there backing you up.
Oh, I
That's
see the
right.
Jamaicans.
That's right. This is what I love about women and growth. So we're going to go to the growth question. So we experience certain levels of growth, right? We plateau, we're in the dream, we're making money, we're shooting hoops, and we have a period where none of the hoops, none of the shots go in the hoop. We have a season of that. We all experience COVID in different parts of the country. I mean, the globe on a global level, we all experience it a little different. I know you girls couldn't get out of Canada. Trudeau wouldn't let nobody in because I tried to get in. I tried to come in.
It was rough.
Right. He wasn't letting y'all out at all. And he protected Canada in a lot of ways. Y'all numbers were different.
Yeah.
The U.S. was just running around, and Atlanta, Georgia was wide open. People were sick here. I got COVID 3 times because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And in a moment, like COVID taught something. So we had this big interruption. A lot of women like us in our successful journey of continued success, like you said, you're not where the new dream is going to take you, meaning the evolving dream. Our dreams were put on hold for a moment, meaning we couldn't make the money we needed to make. You do faces, you do all of this. I can only imagine, right? Whoa.
And in Canada. I do faces and I was in Canada. I did not work for almost 2 years.
That's where I'm going with this. Okay. Cause I had knowledge. I keep up with Canada because I got some business I'm doing over there. Right. So tell me, how does a woman pick up after not being able to do her dream for 2 years with 3 children to support? What happened to Tanisha? Oh, don't y'all let Tanisha go, team. How does a woman do that? How does a woman pick back up? I know it's the resources within her. I can add into that question, but I'll let you go for it. 2 years. How do you pick back up? Before you pick back up, how do you stay in it, in the game, toward the dream, to get back into action? How do you do that?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can. Okay, let's see. Try it again. Say something. Can you hear me, Tanisha? Okay. There she goes. She'll go back. Jessica, if my team is out there, help Tanisha, please.
Can you hear me?
I can,
I'm not hearing Lori.
but I can hear you. They can hear you too. So Tanisha's going to log out. She's going to come back in because we're going to get the answer to that very juicy question. There she go. Ooh,
It was about to get too good, I guess.
And a full view. Woo-hoo. All right. So how did you do that, Tanisha? How did you manage to get back into action from a dream work, from the work that you do, the dream of it all, for 2 years?
You said one word, and it was season. Yeah, everything is but for a season, you know. And that's one thing that we have to remember is no matter how tough it gets, no matter what it might look like, everything lasts but for a season. It will only last longer if you let it last longer, you know? So just like the seasons change. We have 4 seasons. Canada really does have 4 seasons, although I want to say 2, winter and summer. But you know, just like seasons change, you know, after winter comes spring.
Yes.
You know, everything dries up in the winter. There's no leaves. They're shedding right now. It's the fall. And I love using that analogy because, you know, for us, especially even here, the winter is such a long stretch, you know, and we don't really see any sign of vegetation until about May.
That's right.
You know, it's long and it's dark and it's cold. And no matter how much you may dislike that season, the one thing that allows you to get up and go the next day, you know, is that we're one day closer to spring. It's going to go away. And so no matter what it is that you're doing, you know, we're not sitting here saying, oh, I know that, you know, something bad's going to happen. But it's in life, you can face adversities and, you know, and all kinds of different challenges. The key thing is knowing that nothing lasts forever. And you will come out. You've got to believe, and you've got to work toward the better, work toward what it is that you want to actually have happen, and not become, you know, succumb yourself to what is right now.
I was reading something because I wanted you to jump right on it. We got like 3 more minutes, and this is perfect timing. So our entire experiences on this planet, I said earlier, to dream a new story. And I said, some of us need to get more aware of what our story is, right? So I want to dive in another little piece with you. Sometimes we're forced to have a new dream story. Did you feel forced to expand your story after 2 years of having to figure out income, take care of the children, and take care of yourself? Or did you feel a new perspective being born in you? Or both?
I believe it was more a new perspective. And you know, again, this comes out of, you know, things I've learned over time. I now come from a place where I look at things as nothing happens to me, it happens for me.
Higher level consciousness.
Sometimes you have to really look at, why is this thing happening right now? Because sometimes we think we're supposed to be doing a particular thing, and we're gearing ourselves toward that. And you may be like, man, I have all the ducks in a row, but it's still not working out. Sometimes it is because it's leading you to a different path, but that's not really where you're supposed to be. So I did have to shift a little. And yes, that period was not the most comfortable. It was uncomfortable, you know. And I'm grateful that I made it out. And if we were to even talk about even makeup, at that time, I was not doing traditional makeup. I was only doing permanent makeup. And
Oh, okay.
so when I came back to, I did traditional makeup so many years ago. But then you look at what's going on around you,
Hmm.
and I'm always answering makeup questions. And because I went to another conference, self development, I
Yes,
heard someone say something about your most asked question. And so I had been doing a lot of thinking, about where I should take my business. And so the answer came through that. Because even in the midst of that and not making money, I still put myself in rooms, whether it be physically or online, like this, so that I could stay, in a certain mindset.
absolutely.
You have to, because life will happen and you will fall. And so
Mm.
again, it's the intention. And I heard that and I was like, this is really where it is. So I'm going to take it here. And it has blown my mind since I came back to doing traditional makeup and just sharing, now influencing, content creating. That
Oh
was
yeah.
not a part of the vision at all.
That's the dream. The dream actually has, I always say it, magic. There's magic in the dream.
There's magic. It's not the way I saw it. And when I
That's
go
right.
back to my vision board, it's on there. It was just on there in a different fashion.
Hmm.
So, you got to just remember everything is seasonal. Do not allow the season to let you shift your focus from the dream.
That is good. That's it. You have so many jewels in you. Um, I love that you're just very fluid. It feels, and the more I talk with you, the more I feel the words showing up. Fluid is another word that I feel showing up. A woman who, I said it to you earlier coming in about your story. You don't feel stagnant. You don't feel static. You feel very dynamic. And I know so many women want to feel that. Would the last question would be, do you feel when a woman takes care of her face, she lives out her dream different? And I didn't have that one on there. It just showed up and I wanted to ask. I think I've been wanting to ask that question, even of the 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 young woman in Atlanta that I do let do my face when I'm doing photography and so forth.
Mhm.
Um, the way she touches my face when she's doing my face, the way we cleanse the face and get it ready and prep, then the way we start to do the thing. It takes her a little while, but she's so gentle, but she's also giving me this experience that by the time I get to the photography, she has pampered me. She has me looking just like I would want to look, even though there's like 2 tons of makeup on, right? For
Mhm.
camera. It's almost magical. And I haven't met anyone like her in Atlanta, but I'm watching your face. I see something beyond the makeup. So, can every woman experience that? Is it important that she really tap into that in this new dream season that we're all needing to go in? Some women say, I don't need any of that. And I often want to respond to her, in my very authentic self. I've learned to keep some things, just some things, Tanisha. I have. It's been a work in progress because I've had to learn to compassionately speak certain things. The younger me would have said, girl, are you really kidding me? Are you kidding me? You do need some lipstick. You need lip gloss, something. Your lips are really ashy. You need to do something with those lips. You got beautiful lips. You just don't know how beautiful they are. And you don't put enough stuff on it. I would probably say any of those number of things. But the new composed, compassionate coming out more, not so assertive, not so, forward, I would say to her, consider.
Right.
Consider what this could feel like and what it could do for you.
Yeah.
Do women, I don't think, understand that a bright, beautiful face get raises on jobs.
I don't know that they do know, or do they believe? And until you do it, then you won't believe. And so my answer to your question is absolutely.
I like
You
the way you
you,
just put that.
you should do it, and you deserve it. That's the next thing. I like to use that word. Don't you think you deserve it? Don't you
Mm.
think that you deserve to give yourself 10 minutes before bed to ensure that you properly cleanse and tone
Mm.
and add your night serum and moisturize before you go to sleep. So while your body is doing everything else, your face is doing it too. Because you will start seeing the results. And it doesn't matter if you have no issues with your skin. It's a way for you to love on you. And one thing
Mm.
for sure is time is not reversing. We're not getting any younger. So one day you're gonna look up and you're gonna say, shoot, I need a skincare routine, because things really do change. And
That's so good. Mm.
you deserve it. Sometimes when
Mhm.
I'm doing my skincare routine and I'm showing it online and people are like, oh, I don't have time for that. That's too many steps. No, it's not too many steps. You go and
Mhm.
you give somebody else 8 hours, 9 hours. Maybe everyone here is an entrepreneur. So maybe you give yourself 12, 15 hours for the day. Give yourself 10 minutes to pamper yourself at night. Give yourself 10 minutes in the morning. Makeup in the morning doesn't have to be 45 minutes.
Mm-mm.
I can give you a 20-minute routine and you can do that for yourself. When you look good, you feel great. That's just the bottom line. And even if you are a person that does not wear makeup, because not everyone wears makeup, just like you said, Lori, pay attention to your lips, gloss up, put some color on. Color, it adds vibrance and it shifts your energy, and
Look
you
how
won't
you say that.
feel it because you do.
See how she say that, everybody? Y'all see how she just got in it? She just started moving with it. Ooh, you on
It
fire
does.
right now. I can sit here. I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna let you finish a little bit. We got like 3 more minutes. We're gonna just 8:50. I had to be ready at 8:40. Okay. We good.
We're good.
Finish that little part because you got women saying they need some of that. So you might notice, and I'm gonna let you go back in one more time because I want every woman to know her dream is tied to more than what she even thought. That's why I did this, because I know there's many concepts around dreams, and I
Mhm.
studied them out, and it's like they kept flowing. So my makeup today, I look a little like I'm in a casket, kind of, sort of. All right, this is just me talking.
No,
I don't. Oh, okay.
no.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I didn't have anyone to come take care of me today. So I had to take care of me. I got a lot of makeup. I got skincare routine, but I'm ready for something new. Tanisha,
Mhm.
I need me a new skincare regimen. I need me a new skincare coach because I talked earlier about this aging. So I've been dealing with ageism, the experience of aging.
Right.
I have great genes from what I can tell based on mama, grandmama, and so forth, just doing my ancestral history. I'll be 55 in 2025. I'm
Hmm.
thinking of a tummy tuck because I've been holding on for 30 years. The little flap from what you have. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, everybody, stay focused. The little flap that's been with me since uh, giving two births, C-section, and
Right.
it's just hanging like tremendously that I don't even like the way it looks. Everything tighten it up and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, it's time to go. It took that long for me to make a decision based on how I truly want to feel. Right? Keisha knows. We met at Keisha's event. Keisha
Mhm.
knows she tries to put me on girdles every time I'm speaking, and I tell her no. And she goes, Lottery, I have two. I said, no, Keisha, I want to be free. So to be free,
Mhm.
I want to feel good. It's not about just how I look first, it's how I want to feel.
Right.
So when I put my makeup on today, I felt like I didn't have the routine down. I felt like I needed some support in more. So for a woman like me, professional woman who's about to travel the globe next year, how
Right.
do we, and for women not just like me, who just need to say she love herself some more, right? I'm in a different genre than the other woman, but we all after the same thing, to feel better, like you said, we deserve it, and to know how. How do you help us? Take us into that part. Do my team need to put some up? Who needs the help? Let's get some help. But how do you help us? What is the thing you do to help us?
Well, what I do now is I realize that there are so many women that really just don't know how, so I teach it. I teach the average woman how to get herself together with simple makeup routines, still looking like yourself, but flawless. And Suzette's here. She can attest. She's attended my class. So I offer in-person classes. If you're in Canada, I'm going to be doing one in Atlanta in December. And
Ooh,
I also do online makeup classes. I also do one-on-ones. So, I'm just passionate about helping women feel good, you know, and use beauty as a way to empower. So I teach it, Lori. That's how I help you.
that is powerful. Using beauty to help us not just feel good, it's an empowerment mechanism. I can
Absolutely.
see you love this. I really do. Can I make everybody laugh? And Tanisha, you're going to laugh a little bit too. So I wish
Okay.
I'd known you. My very first experience in Canada, we hosted a conference.
Mhm.
Keisha Pinto and I met and we told the story at a Lisa Nichols event in California. So it was our first experience, so forth and so on. So Keisha thought I was bringing my makeup person with me. And Jessica, my operations manager, said, no, she's going to, we bought everybody else, but she's going to get someone in the local because I think it's important when you come into other people's backyard, you respect that. So
Mhm.
we're looking for my makeup stylist, and we hired a young woman who left me with two black eyes.
Ouch.
I said smoke because I was wearing leather. You know, I had that look of leather and stuff. I like leather. And I thought, and I had the spiky blonde hair at the time.
Mm.
I wanted the smoke.
Mhm.
And with smoke, you probably do the lips like you. I learned a little something, that particular, you don't want to just black me out.
Right.
So something was going on downstairs while I was in my session getting ready, the host of another 6 hours of work. I'm being interrupted. So I come downstairs because Keisha needed me to come downstairs. And I needed to come downstairs. She was right. I go downstairs. The women are having this incredible conversation and they're not getting along, the speakers. I'm like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? So we're trying to diffuse. But while we're diffusing, everybody's looking at me. And I'm like, why y'all looking at me? I mean, you look at me because I'm helping you all transform through this conversation that shouldn't have been happening, right?
Mhm.
So they're really looking. And so everybody started laughing a little bit. Keisha says, two black eyes. She started laughing. So everyone is looking at me. We got pictures, Tanisha. So when we get together again, we'll show you the pictures in December.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking. So she had my brows completely black and they were real big. She had my smoke completely black. She had no layers on them to get them colored or whatever. So everybody's looking at me. I was like, what is going on? So my daughter gives me the phone or whatever. What? We got 30 minutes for me to be down here.
Wow.
And everybody's going, oh my God, you can't come down here looking like this. You're meeting these women for the first time. I'm going, oh, my first time in Toronto having my first conference. I wanted to, and for a moment, the dream felt impossible for me to go on stage and do what I'm called to do, blacked out. But guess what I did, Tanisha? Guess what I did, girl greatness? I showed up blacked out. Keisha was like, Lordy. I said, I got to go. Being on time and starting and giving these women what they want, we will laugh about the black eyes. Just, we got to go.
We gotta go.
I had interviewed people there. Magazine people showed up. Tanisha, I was
Oh, I
blacked out.
gotta see. Oh, you gotta show me.
I do. Do. And then the story is the ending of this. So a bad mood could have taken place. But what I know about what you look to me to be, when I met you, I didn't see bad mood. I saw a woman who could help other women mood go up. And I'm feeling that right now through you. Is
Yeah.
this idea of the dream that you do now, teaching, offering one-to-one, is it a mood stabilizer? Does it really help a woman move, energize so she can do what she's called to do better? Do you really believe that that's
I
it?
know. I know it does.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what I had to do? I know it was too. I know it's true too. I'm glad you agreed because I really had to push through my mood.
Mm-hmm.
My face looked like Darth Vader for real, though. I'll be very honest. And Keisha said she will show you the pics with
Yeah.
3 exclamations. You still have the pics,
I
Keisha?
mean, I'm trying not to laugh, but I'm seeing Keisha message, and Keisha's like, "I'll show you the pics. It's real. 2 black eyes, but we did it."
That's it. So you are needed in the world. I want to just let you close out with any final words. You're needed in the world. You got bright, you got airy, you got messages, you got work, you've learned, you believe in self-empowerment, you believe in successes. You had 2 years down where you had to figure out your new way forward. You showed up to events and conferences, you kept learning, and now you found a new dream space. You're writing new stories. Wow, what a woman. Anything you want to share with us before we go? Hello, I see women joining from everywhere. Hey, Gwen. I'm trying to case my glasses.
I just want to leave women with this. You have done a great thing by being here. You have done a really great thing by being here. And that in itself says something. It means that you do have a vision and you do have a dream, and it is yours.
Mm.
It's God's gift to you. And, it's not for anyone else to acknowledge or to make right. It is yours. And so only you can execute it the way that you are supposed to. So just the way you showed up here tonight, keep showing up for yourself. Keep believing. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. And everything that you need will come. You got to believe and you got to keep moving. Everything that you need will come. Every door will open. Every window will open.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep showing up for yourself.
You say something. Everyone, y'all catching that? Tanisha believes in self. That was what she's continued to learn. Remember, she said unlearning. And I believe that what you get comes through your belief of self. I truly believe that. We just got more work to do there. So How do we reach you? How do you want women to reach out to you? I know you say you come into Atlanta in the U.S. in December. Where is it you want them specifically to go if they want to see if they can get a session with you, book you one-on-one? Because I see women asking. There we go.
Okay.
Now go ahead.
So the best place to reach me, you can go to my Instagram, which is I am Tanisha Wilson, and there's a spelling of my name. It's T-E-N-E, not T-A-N-I. T-E-N-E-S-H-A. So I am Tanisha Wilson on Instagram. I do respond to my DMs, and you'll reach me there very quickly. You can also reach me via email at info@tanishawilson.com. And those will be the 2 fastest.
Okay, my team is putting it in here. So everyone take a moment and hit that QR code or go to IG. I am Tanisha Wilson.
And it's T-E-N-E. I see where it says T-A-N-E.
Okay, can y'all recorrect that? Someone just scanned the QR code. That's awesome. So T-E, it's a T-E-N-E-S-H-A.
That's right.
They probably over there wanting to get all this goodness to come their way. They can't focus. And her email address is there. So make sure we correct her IG. Okay, thank you, team. I have an incredible team that stretches from here to the new to Africa. Thank you so much, Tanisha, for sharing that. Y'all heard that? She said the team is great. Awesome. Thank you.
There it is.
Tanisha, thank you.
Lori, thank you.
Okay, really? We can do that for 5 minutes.
Yeah, like we could just go back and forth. But thank you. Thank you for having me here. Oh my gosh, what an honor. I look forward to you coming back to Canada. And of course, I just love what you're doing for these women. And I hope they see what you see for them, and are really taking in all that you've offered over the last 3 days. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
For me and for them. Because I know what tapping in can really do.
You're so warm. I shared that with Sue. Like women hang out together. And meeting you through Keisha Pinto, it just makes sense because she likes to handpick her friends and her connections. She's that woman.
Big
Um,
up, Keisha.
oh yeah. See that? I am so excited about just you girls, period. It's like
Mhm.
four of you. I'm excited about we got Sue's conference coming up. We got you in the mix now. We have me and you and Keisha and Jessica, or we got something brewing. And I'll see you in December here. If you're coming in December, I'm going to get my seat. And if it's anything you all need from Tanisha, just know how to reach out. The QR code is there. My team has the information there. We'll be sending out more information in the next couple of days. My team is going to be doing some post work so that you'll make sure you have connections. Thank you again, Tanisha, for being here. Tell your daughter she did the right thing, telling you to bring your green eyebrows. She know it. Tell her she's on her way. Thank you so much, girl greatness.
You're welcome.
Have a great one.
You too. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, team. Okay. Okay, Jessica, we're finished with Tanisha. Awesome. Tanisha, that was awesome, wasn't it? Woo! That's right. She knows all of that. Permanent makeup. The thing I loved about what we just did, we went from conception of, well, let's start. We went from tragedy to then understanding how we get to the keys of success. Beyond that, she created a new story. She could have actually stopped in the story of losing her spouse. She could have stopped right there, but she looked around. She had her 3 children, and she looked around and she understood that there was, I said earlier, she really tapped into her feminine and masculine energy. She tapped into spirit. She tapped into her ancestors, and she had a sense of fulfillment in an unexpected way. She said she wasn't so much forced, but she used new perspectives. And that's how she managed to move things back into creation. She could have stopped because after 2 years, then COVID. Come on, she's had really a couple different hits. And some of us don't make it past one major challenge or one major obstacles. And here's Tanisha, who in a specific kind of way, she has an incomplete strategy. And if she wrote it all out, she understands seasonal cycles. She understands emptiness. She understands conception. She understands growth. She understands the peaks. She understands the valley, decay, when things just get, in the root of it. And she understands rebirth. That's how I'm going to describe what we just learned. So I hope that you enjoyed her just as much as I did. I want to do something really special right now. And we'll be bringing on our political conversation in less than 3 minutes. I want to just show you the box. We're not going to be able to go through the whole thing tonight, but this is the box. Woo! The Dreamer's Box. Girl, go be great. Lifestyle Success Company. Everything means something on this box. And there's a card. These arrows mean something. What I like to call each of us. Hey, girl greatness. That's who I believe you are. Then there's the top. Dream into action. This has been in the making a while. Dream into action. She represents the whimsical energy of us all. The big hoops, the flowers, the thick hair, the beautiful lips, the big dreamy eyes. It's in the eyes. I believe dreams do spark us in our eyes. Yes, we feel it in our hearts and our womb, as I've said, but look at those eyes. This is our girl who we chose as our model to dream into action. This is a limited box. Okay, the big box. And it's about inspiration, momentum, and transformation. This is a special edition because this box comes with, all of the boxes will come with the pillows. So we have different pillow colors you can choose from. This is the Hey Girl Greatness pillow filled with the stuffings. Okay. Hey Girl Greatness pillow in white. Isn't that awesome? Yes. So if you are experiencing that moment where you need to say, hey Girl Greatness, get yourself together. Hey Girl Greatness, I'm super excited and proud of you. Hey Girl Greatness, I celebrate you. This is the black Girl Go Be Great pillow. Just the normal Girl Go Be Great pillow. All right. And then we have it in different colors. And we have the Girl Go Be Great just in the 4-block. And then we also will be taking the Hey Girl Greatness and putting it on black as well. Inside of the box, it'll come with some incredible paper. All of the Hey Girl Greatness paper and the Girl Go Be Great paper can come fully loaded. You're going to have things where you'll be able to click a QR code to download your digital products, which comes with a framework called the Greatness Framework. It's a full-blown audio training that helps you get into action. That full-blown audio training helps you get into action. It also comes with PDFs, right? It comes with a beautiful candle. It comes with, the candle is specific. It has energy, healing, medicinal value in that candle. It comes with, and I'm going to come back around the front. It comes with another training to help you really find your way to balance out lifestyle changes. So you see the colors here? These colors all represent something. And inside there's a card that will share with you why each piece, how to best use the box. So it comes with 2 digital programs, fully loaded. You'll log in and you'll be able to take your course at your leisure. The possibilities course, the Greatness Framework. There is a money map. It's going to help you really get inspired in a different way, a more transformative way, inspiring way to reach some money goals. It is a business training in the box. And you're going to love this one because this is the one that a lot of women are going to buy the box for, even though lifestyle is key, but the candle. Now you get to have me in the box too. You got some other things in the box that are surprises. So we'll have the box loaded with a few surprises. We have some entrepreneur partners that we're looking to partner with, and we'll be putting their surprises in the box every quarter. So my partnership team, which is ran by Purity, she's in Nigeria. She will be reaching out to potential partners. So if you want to be a potential partner and be in the box, we can feature your items in the box. And Jessica, our operations manager, will share our revenue split with you, our joint venture partnership with you. We want to be able to put in that box every quarter, women around the globe, your beautiful items. This is what we call a staple box. It does not change. The only thing that changes it is the special gifts, which are from the other women entrepreneurs. So say we work with Tanisha. Tanisha will be providing some incredible lipstick because I think Sue, one of our other speakers, Dream Talk speakers, was wearing Tanisha's lipstick. Say she decides to provide us with samples. We're going to put those in the box. Or if they're full size, then we'll be sharing revenue for those who are interested in that. Okay. So we have Purity will be reaching out to a group of women I've created a list for as we move into 25. So you can be a part of the box and see if this is something you would like to partner with us on. We are pretty excited about the box. The pillows themselves are going to just blow the box up. We believe that the training that comes in the box is going to make it even more successful. And we also believe those surprises. The candle and the pillow, they mean something. When you're dreaming into action, you're essentially trying to figure out how to create a space for that. Okay. So when you're doing that, you want to feel confident. You want to feel connected. Girl, go be great. We believe in that greatness piece. So we make sure that you have that piece, the pillows, the candle, and there's some other little things that you'll get that are surprise things. But what we love the most is the training. You get the digital training, but if you want to have me as the physical part of it, right, that we do some one-to-ones, there's two price points. There will be a $375 price point when you get me in the training, and there's a $199 price point when you get the box with all of the digital products and all of the other incredible things in the box. We're going to open up for you to be able to pre-order your box. I think that's actually, I thought it was happening tomorrow. My team helped me realize that's not happening until I think it's Saturday. I get my days mixed up because I thought the day was Thursday. That's just because I've been in this cocoon for several days. So Saturday morning, we're opening up. We're going to give you a code for everyone that attended and did a form online. They get a code. You're going to get a special code, a percentage even off of that. Now, if you're interested in going in the box and you're a woman entrepreneur and you have a product that you want to talk to us about, we're going to give you Purity's information. All the speakers are going to get this, my partners, and she will talk with you. So the email address is there for Dreamers Box Partnerships. You'll email support@loripelzer.com. For Dreamers Box Partnerships, email support@loripelzer.com. We promise to be fair, equitable, and we promise to have fun in our partnership with you. Okay? And we have a full agreement. It's been vetted by our attorney, but it is not a hard partnership. It is very easy. And when I say easy, I mean everything in this creation together that we pull together is about the greater good of us both. And it has to not be hard. That's one of the things women have to stop doing when we're in business, is making things hard. Make it fair, make it equitable, and you don't have a problem from there, right? Put it in writing. Know what to expect. Deliver what people expect. When there's a hiccup, rather than forcing things by ignoring them, be open, be communicatable, and you can keep moving. We're excited about the box. Now, this is a special edition box. So what that means is it's a tad bit a little bigger than the box that's coming. The other box is still going to be big, but it's not, just a smidget smaller, just because that one is special edition, because the pillow does have to fit in the box. And we're excited about you having your box, the trainings, the nighttime stuff, the daytime stuff. So when we fully throw the box out in the world, they're going to fly off the shelf. Yep. There's going to be video about the box, me teaching on the box, but you get the first look, you get the first, pricing. And I say, go for it, right? I say, get ready for the holidays with your box and get some extra stuff in there. So thank you for allowing me to share with you the Dreamers Box. And I'm probably not giving you all the good stuff, but don't worry. When you get your link, you will be able to see all in writing what comes in the box. And you'll go to a page. We already have that page set up that describes the box and everything that comes in the box. And I'm getting notes and I see it. Thank you. So, yep, okay, so it's Monday. I thought it was this weekend. I am so ready for this to happen. So Monday morning, it will actually open up for all of you. You'll have a code and you'll actually have the registration page. So go get and pre-order your box, okay? Listen, let's keep moving. I want to ask my team, do we have Dolores here with us? We are excited to have a democracy conversation. When we talk about the idea of women moving into politics and the understanding of politics and the understanding of why would someone do such a thing? It seems so divided in every country. It seems so rigid. How does that have anything to do with dreams? Well, it does, because it was democracy. When you live in a democracy, you have the choices. Your choices, you can travel if you need to travel for your dream. You can move like you want to move, as long as you're not breaking laws. And if you did break a law and you didn't know you broke a law, you still get an opportunity to defend yourself in a democracy. When you're not in democracy, as an example, we had a U.S. basketball player, Brittany Griner, who played in Russia for years, right? Because off season here in the U.S., she wasn't being able to make any money, of course, through endorsements and so forth. So she was bi global, not bi coastal, but bi global. And she in the U.S. was prescribed a marijuana, medical marijuana, and she must have had a little bit of something in something. They said it wasn't even anything in the little vial. It was more so the residue. I don't know how you put someone in jail for residue, but she was put in jail in Russia because it is not a democracy. So what we're finding here, if you're in the U.S., just like in Canada, I think you just heard a little bit with me and Tanisha. She said not only was we experiencing COVID, just like we were in the U.S., but we were in Canada. So there was a lot of different rules. Not that they're not in a democracy in Canada. Canada is prescribed as a democracy, but with other rules. That's how I'm gonna put it. And when I studied Canada, right, Dubai, yes, not a democracy. There are things women can't do in Dubai. Yep. And there was a story of a young Black woman, truck driver, I think, right, who was jailed in Dubai for a period because she had a confrontation with, and she wasn't as careful, culture and society. So the reason I'm bringing this conversation in, because so many women dreams. We don't understand this very valid point that political is connected to dreams. Government is connected to dreams. As much as we want to say different, as much as there are parties across the globe, green parties, the just party, that party, they're all rising up. Everyone deserves to be heard. However, the key to success for me has been democracy, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of where I was able to come from poverty to prosperity. Yet it had been a democracy, I would have been shunned, thrown away, period. There was no safe space unless it was for a democracy that a Black girl could exist, having had 2 babies before she was 18. The truth is, I didn't go just have those 2 babies. The story will be told in my book. So my team, if you would let me know if you see Dolores in the back, I think she is here. And she's ready to come in. And we're going to have that conversation about why she chose. Okay, that's Keisha. But I think I understand. I heard Dolores is in the back as well, team. She says she's online. Okay, just a moment, everyone. Okay. Okay, while they get her set up, Jessica, could you please maybe send her back the link, please, again? Thank you. So democracy was one of those conversations for me that I feel very strong about. It is a conversation I feel strong about. It allowed me to be what I am today. You know, we don't just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Dreams don't just fly off the shelf. We have to, at some point, say we need external rules. You know, no rules. Can you imagine? Here in the U.S., we got Elon Musk, and everybody knows him across the globe. He's actually African, South African. But yet he wants to deport all the immigrants. We have this whole idea, right, that we don't need any governmental involvement, but that's not true. And I know this to be clear and to be very, very, very clear. When they stated in that Constitution or those Bill of Rights or your government where you are, the societal norms of what needs to happen for us to govern a community, I recognize that it was most important for me to understand how it works. How do we move into this idea to create through governmental connection? And so many of us see it, women see it very differently than men. So we tend to embrace it. So I want to say that there's a time and space in each one of our governments. Now, Africa government is seemingly ran by this tyranny system and this tier system. And when I was there, I could see it. It's hundreds of years old. And I also saw some women emerging, but it wasn't this easy thing to see. It wasn't this easy thing to grasp, right? It was more so very in between static and dynamic. And it was teetering, very much teetering in the middle, like the tipping point. And we're in these societies, UK, USA, Canada, and Africa, at a time where feminine energy in its existence can lead us through this. But we're going to have to acknowledge that we need to get involved. And my next guest, Dream Talk speaker, Dolores Gray, who I had a pleasure of working with on the Girl It's Your Life tour. I brought her into this conversation because she is the face of a woman that I know. I know a few women that are in politics. I couldn't get all the other names. And so if you're looking for big names, she's a big name up and coming. I want to talk to you about Dolores. I got echo. Okay, maybe I need to cut mine down a little bit more. Okay. Dolores, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Dolores, do you have your volume up a little bit? So I want you to turn your volume down a little bit on your computer. We'll work through it, no problem.
Okay.
All right, let's see how that works. How's that sound?
That's fine.
Can you hear me good?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I can't hear you now, so speak out for me.
Hello?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Get it right. I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, my team is letting me know. We're going to make sure we don't get too much echo.
Okay.
Okay, well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to log out and log back in.
Okay.
Yep, just log out, leave, and then you'll come back in and it may reset itself. Okay. One of the key things to technology is not being afraid of it, right? So welcome in everyone I see coming in. We've had some empowered conversations and we got one more power conversation to go. So let's try that now, Dolores.
Can you hear me now?
I can. And is there echo? My team, tell me about the echo, no echo. All right, we made it. We good to go. Dolores, welcome in.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Let's talk. So we got a few minutes together, but I first want you to let everyone know we're going to engineer the story. I want you to start with what you're doing that's sitting behind you. You're running for office. You've been running in different races, but what you're running for right now. And then we'll talk why that's important, democracy and dreams.
Yes, well, as you know, I'm Dolores Gray. I'm Ford on the ballot, and I'm running for the State Board of Education. And that is a very important seat here in Ohio, based on how they're trying to do away with public schools and also trying to do away with funding and other curricula for our students, and also, get rid of unions that help our teachers. So I'm running for that, and I have a lot of support right now behind me. I was endorsed by the state Democratic Party, which is a huge deal, because I didn't have, my friends say, I didn't have to wallow in the mud to get to the top, I went straight to the top and received the endorsement from the top, as well as for the United Auto Workers, the statewide, and for Ohio Education Association, which also a huge organization that covers for teachers and the other workers and other educators. And so I'm very proud to be doing this because of the fact that after you last saw me, Lori, I was in the midst of my grief, and I'm taking care of my two grandchildren who learn differently, and being in this, going to the school systems and looking at everything that's going on. And as a former educator myself, used to work I was a teacher for the second grade and also an educator, developing a couple literacy programs. But after I was with you all in Atlanta a few years back, I came back and I got more involved in community activist work. And I became the president of the historical organization here in Cleveland called the Carl Stokes Brigade. And Carl Stokes is the very first mayor in any metropolitan city, and he started here in Cleveland. He was the mayor. So he founded this organization, which I am now the new president of. So I got, it was a lot of, got a lot of press and everybody, watching me, but that's what I've been doing and raising these two boys to be scholars. And so when someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, we choose you as our community active to come out and help us. We need you in the office. So, I prayed about it, of course, because I am a spiritual person and I believe God led me this. And so that's right now.
Listen, that's some big time stuff, y'all.
Yes.
I'm going to stay here only quickly because I want to just make sure that we get the point made. So Dolores lost her daughter. Unexpected. It really did impact her life.
Yes.
In ways beyond just having to heal. She had to raise her daughter's two children. It's one thing being grandma, and it's another thing having your own dreams and then have to incorporate your grandchildren, change the way your life works.
Yes.
And here it is.
Exactly.
Dolores found purpose in her pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see politician in her when I met her.
You did say that.
Because advocacy was her thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about the part of when a woman gets an idea, vision, that this is where she's supposed to go, and she goes. How far is far enough? Because you started at a different level in the political realm.
Yes.
And now you're at this level, state school board.
Mm-hmm.
Without state school boards here in the U.S., where rules are made, where if it's not balanced and the creation is not balanced, your children could be learning. Well, we are in a battle in the U.S. right now. Books are being banned. There is a group of people that want to take us back.
Right.
So children are really, in a specific way, I could say, in an upside down experience. So they need to be protected. So without people who believe in democracy, the freedoms, right?
Right.
Like Dolores, like we all should be in some part of political environments. She said yes to that vision, that idea. What is that costing you, Dolores? Is that costing you something of you?
Well, I just want to acknowledge too, Tanya. I see she noted here, God has ordered steps. And that's how I see it. God has ordered my steps. And I am a very spiritual woman. Matter of fact, I'm a minister in training as well. It has, I feel like this. When you have a dream, you never know where it's going to take you. Now, my dream started with me working as an advocate, working with women who have gone through domestic violence, human trafficking, working with their children, even doing, the healthy, holistic thing with exercise and food, and, basically a community advocate to bring everybody together to become whole. But as I went along with my dream, everything was coming to be, but it was steering me in a different direction. And, I started, people started calling on me, and it was more of the empowerment that I was providing. And it also helped me too. I started working with women who are going through grief and running groups of women that are going through grief, as well as women that are coming out of recovery, going into recovery, reentry, those sort of things. So, seeing each one of these women, this has built me more, do more. And so that dream starts changing. And, and the more that I was out there speaking, the more that I was being called upon, the more that I was in our churches speaking, it was just, I said to myself, this is a purpose. This is what God has purposed me to do. Even though I was trying not to do all that, this is something that God has purposed me to do. Now, with the grief part of it, I'm still grieving. I get my days, I have my days, but I always say, order my steps. Order my steps, God. And that's what gets me up in the morning. But when you have a dream deferred, a lot of times it's God asking you to sit still because he's building you up. He's building you. And that's how I feel that I've been, he's been building me up. And for a fact, and I'm a little different now, just talking to me. But that's because God has, I have been given so much in the spiritual sense. I'm not rich, I did get a new house, so things like that. But I know that my steps are ordered by God, and my dreams are, it's all part of that because it's a purpose. And when someone came to me and, I was trying to run from all of this, because sometimes I like to be in the background. I'm an introvert type person at times. So, I wanted to stay in the background, but it was like, no, you need to be doing this because you are the face. And then someone had told me that I was on your the speaker series before, and I forget the young lady's name, but she told me that you are living, you have a vibration that is like none other, and it is growing. She said, I would say 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to be doing something that's going to be in that advocacy realm, but it's going to be even more powerful. And I didn't think about that until after I talked to you again, when I say, oh, I remember that conversation with the other lady that was part of the speaker series at that time.
Would that be Lulu?
Yes. That's what she said. She said, your vibration, you have a positive vibration about you. But, I just feel that I think when you have a purpose, and the purpose is part of the dream. When you have that purpose,
Absolutely.
you need to act on it. When that dream has came upon you, and you know that you're moving in that direction, and you can't allow, dream's going to be deferred for a reason to move you somewhere else. And that's what happened to me. And that dream is all part of it. It came to be part of the community advocacy, out there speaking out. I mean, I'm going downstate, with my fist up and say, hey, we need justice. I mean, I would never have dreamt that I would do that sort of thing, but it's in me. And, and that dream is coming out. And so I'm just excited about this journey because I know that this is a purpose for me. And, with the women that come to me and the men too, and families, and just knowing that God has given me that dream, and now it's being fulfilled as a purpose to help others. And this is so important that, we understand government, we understand how things work here. And, every state is different, but we all are the same when it comes to the State Board of Education, The Senate race, the president race. It's so crazy, and it is bigger than me. But this is a mission that I'm put on. So I'm glad you have accepted that challenge.
So I'm going to just close her out with these very powerful words. First, I want y'all to put on the screen how we can support Dolores with her reaching some financial goals. The election is days away here in the US. You don't know her, but vibrationally, what you give to her, it comes back to you. Vibrational giving, I taught this in another time at Hajadina's conference. And vibrational giving is probably one of the best ways to give, not out of necessity, but out of abundance.
Yes.
We're going to put a link on the screen. Jessica, we got that link over to the team earlier through email, where you can go to Act Blue. This will not be going directly to like her Cash App.
Yes.
Secured Act Blue. I use Act Blue. It is where all the donations go. If they go in other places, then y'all need to be conscious. They get approved to use Act Blue as a politician.
Yes.
I want to see Dolores win.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we dream of as women, we need women in the front speaking for our dreams.
Yes. Yes.
Our children. So I know Canada works different, but we know that it's time to see more Black women in that body, because I've been studying Canada, because women entrepreneurs of color are still proportionally not getting what they deserve in Canada.
Yes.
I've been doing a lot of research about where the money is in Canada, and that's why we're coming to open up an entrepreneur hub in Canada, because I got some hands to shake, because I believe in the women in Canada. I love the women in Canada. I love the women in the US, and I love the women in Africa. I got to get to know the women in the UK more, Black women and women of color. But what I can tell you is we are globally connected.
Yes.
In this moment. This is a defining moment for women globally. I believe that. My girls are here. All of us are connecting on it. We want to see you win.
Yeah.
See, when you win state school board, then you make changes that affect your children, our children. And even though we didn't have children there, we get to the remnants of women's energy like yours. It's a reason we fell in love here in the US with Maxine Waters.
Yes.
And she's not our state representative, but she's Auntie Maxine. We might be looking at the next Auntie Dolores Gray.
Yes. And
I'm excited for you.
I'll make a comment too about the entrepreneurship. That is one of the things that I am looking forward to in policy, is to make sure that we have a curriculum that offer classes for young people who are interested in entrepreneurship and business, because we don't have that here. Most of us don't have.
Well, they took it out of everywhere.
Yes,
in the US.
they took it out completely. And
it used to be in the trade schools, but they took it out.
Yeah, it's on purpose. And so that's what I'm fighting for, to put trades in the curriculum, as well as entrepreneurship, business training, financial literacy, just all of that, because it is so important that our young women know what their worth is and get involved in business ventures that can help them financially. I mean, it is so important. And, I'm teaching that to my boys. And I think all children should have that type of curriculum to be able to learn things, whatever your trade is, whatever your passion is, whatever you love to do, you can build that into a business. And
you need an opportunity to get there. Thank you for being the creation. I want everybody to click the link. I want us to support Dolores, whether it's what you can afford or more what you want to give. We plan to Girl Go Be Great. Support her. She has 9 days or 8 days now.
It's like
so
8 days.
Tonight would be great. Before you forget, it's just a matter of us forgetting. If you don't know her, it's okay. I know her.
Mhm.
We do it for the daughter that she lost and the 2 children that she's graciously raising.
Yes.
We might not understand this, but some people literally that could be their daughter, but they send those children to foster care.
Yes. And I fought for that.
Dolores was built.
Yes.
Yep.
I fought for that
She
as
was
well.
built for this moment.
Right. Because a lot of things were
We
coming at
appreciate you.
Mhm. I mean, I appreciate anything because this is I do have a person that is running against me. She lives in one of the suburbs, so she doesn't even understand anything about public schools. And to be quite honest, she doesn't even have 1/3 of the education as well as experiences that I have in the community. And my thing is that I'm going to be that voice, the voice for our
We
children,
believe
our
so.
teachers, our parents,
So
and
here's what I
that's
want us all to grab. The dream needs resources.
yes.
One of the goals is not only do we create these hubs around, but we put some resources. So I took a venture capital class. I've been in a fellowship also. It's been a long year for me because we're preparing for the future, Dolores. We
Yes.
want to give money out. Girl Go Be Great wants to be a part of a solution globally that just blow my mind. I got dreams coming. So we
Hmm.
want to start with women like you. So we're going to send you, we're going to make sure Jessica gets in touch with you and discuss our contribution to you. The
Okay.
women, she'll be in touch in 24 hours. The women here are all congratulating you and we look
Yes.
forward.
Thank
So
you.
what I want to do also is send your information out a little further. So I'll be in
Okay.
touch with you. Give me to Friday. Okay.
Okay. It'll be
All right.
beautiful.
We thank you for showing up.
Yes.
We send you with love. Tell the boys Auntie Lori said hello.
Yes.
And I'll see you on the other side, Dolores, when you become
Thank
state school
you.
board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, girl greatness. We at the end tonight. So this is the next dream talk that I've been waiting on all day. All day. I'm gonna put y'all on just a hold for 30 seconds. Thank you. Okay, girl greatness. We're winding up, not down, up. Our next Dream Talk speaker is Keisha Pinto. I have incredible stories and incredible love for this woman. I'm the only one can make her blush like that.
Only you.
And it would be that kind of chair she's sitting in. Only
And I
you.
got my pillows,
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's so great to see you.
You too. Hello, everyone online. Hello. Hi, Lori. Hi,
Hello.
team.
Well, listen, I'm going to say it like this. When a spirit like yours, I put my glasses on. When a spirit like yours connects with a spirit like mine, there was only magic that could be produced.
Absolutely.
I knew of women in Jamaica. Now I know Keisha, Tanisha, Suzette. I got 6 more. I know I got the whole group.
It's growing, right?
I got 10 of y'all I know. Actually, I know 20 of you, but I'm talking about really connection where we're going to have girl night out and all that when I come over there.
Mm-hmm.
So, because Keisha and Jessica, really quick story, really funny. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome in. You see this on a replay. We like to have a little fun before we get all serious. But Keisha and I met at a time in her life and in mine. We were both grinding for the dream. I was looking to up-level my dream. Keisha was expanding her dream, looking for new opportunities. And while I was definitely looking for new opportunities, I was also learning. We both were serving, learning, expanding, and growing.
Yeah.
I had spent far too much money at that moment on mine, and Keisha was capitalizing on hers. I'm over there, got to write a check at the end of the day. Keisha was collecting checks. She said to me, Lottie, you need me. And I'm like, who is this woman? And why is she so close up on my nose like that? I don't know her like that. She don't know that I'm from the projects in the US and we don't do that. And I don't know where she's from, but her voice sounds like she's from the islands. So my daughter said, Mom, you need to get yourself together. You going globally. You need to know cultures. I said, I know cultures. I am an avid reader. I study. I'm studied. I'm learned. She said, well, act like it. I said, okay, let me see where she's from. And then I realized she was from Jamaica. Of course, after she told me, Jessica knew right away. My daughter went to school at Hampton University, an all-black HBCU. She had friends who were from Jamaica. She had friends that our friends lived in New York, so they were all from different islands, right? Yeah. And I was just wondering how a little girl from the South get connected with all her friends are women from islands. It used to kind of get me, warm and fuzzy, because at that time I was just a local girl doing big local things. Now, don't get it twisted a little bit. So meeting Keisha was this example of fire, the powers of laws of attraction, meeting water. Spirit in the middle, connecting. She said I needed her. I did, but I didn't know how much. So sometimes we don't know how much we need something for the dream to be manifested in its full totality. Does that make sense? Keisha was the part of the dream that came tangible for us. And I'm going to let her tell her side. And for us, Girl Go Be Great, the principles we had in mind, we needed someone with strength and power and tenacity and perseverance to deal with me. To just start with that. But we needed someone who had logistics, who could help Jessica, and they gang up on me, by the way. So I need some more allies, right? And so it was important to attract a partner that could help me focus. But more so, I've become grateful for you in ways that I don't think I would ever really be able to express. So when you asked me to get on a plane, and by the way, I got in a car, a train, and a plane to get to you.
And I love you for it. I absolutely appreciate it. You don't even know.
It's a joke, but I did get it. I did have to do some travels. Mm-hmm. We just couldn't get a plane out of Atlanta like we needed. But I want to strike a balance here. Keisha can bring a balance to the dream conversation, because I believe she possessed that part of this conversation where she's had the point in her journey where she's used principles established by, yes, some of them established by, as we heard in our previous speaker, Tanisha, and we've heard in our other speaker, before that, even Sue. And we've heard even Dolores just say, there are lessons that led me. So what lessons, what principles that led you to this moment that Keisha Pinto Events is doing global work, traveling globally, have expanded from the day I met you with a volunteer t-shirt on, working. It had to be about 1,000 people there. Mm-hmm. And you were working. Every time I turned around, I saw you. Yeah. And today we write you checks. Mm-hmm. How do you go from that dream, dating that dream, believing in that dream, to this moment where we sit today, right, with these principles and these lessons? Share with us how that looks. Your story.
The one word I'm going to tell you is faith. right? And before I introduce myself, I'm going to read something because it also goes back to a lot of the conversations the ladies have been having. Sue talked about manifestation. Tanisha spoke about resilience. Dolores, the vision, right? So, and even you saying that you saw me in the space when we first met. I still stick to that. Wherever I go, I have to be seen. Like, you're very intentional in the spaces that you step in. And I go somewhere, someone is going to know me, someone's going to recognize me, I'm going to be seen. But if I can just read something before we get into it.
Absolutely.
So I posted this caption on my 4th business anniversary, right? In September of 2018, I posted this. It says, 4 years ago today, I officially launched my business and key events was birth. Before the birth, I had some painful contractions that showed up in the form of having no events under my belt, planning a business. I hadn't launched a business. Life happened, grounded me. My relationship fell apart. My family was broken. I ended up moving back home. My self-esteem and confidence I thought that I had was non-existent. I was unemployed from July 2012 to December 2013. And within the span of 9 months, God showed up and sent me the people I needed at the time that helped me push through my birthing stages. Growing key events in the last 4 years has not been easy, and I worked my butt off to build a business to where it is now. And there's still a long way to go. Last year, a year ago today, I coordinated my first international women's conference, Girl Go Be Great, in Atlanta. And this year, a month from now, I will be the event coordinator and liaison to a conference, Girl It's Your Life tour, a 17-city US tour, and making their final stop in Toronto. God will do it. I am truly grateful for all the experiences in the past 4 years, both good and bad, because they both brought me to this place in my business. I am grateful for all the relationships, friendships that I have built thus far. They have grown and stretched me. Thank you all for your support. I am blessed and full of gratitude. Happy 4th business anniversary. And I say that to say, today as I sit here, I'm celebrating 10 years in business. And you, Lori, are integral parts of that for me. And I hope you know this. And this is really what I shared. And this is my story. I had a vision. I launched a business with nothing under my belt. But I got the vision and I knew what I wanted. And I was very intentional about it. But my faith was very strong. Very strong. So yeah, so that's really what I wanted. So now I sit here, Keisha Pinto of Keisha Pinto Events, international events planner. It will happen. He will send the people and it will happen. If your faith is strong enough, you're focused, you know what you want, and the vision is yours.
Did y'all hear that? I feel like I was about to cry. Did you see that?
I don't think I've ever shared that with you.
You did? You never.
No.
She's
but
never,
this is what
everyone,
I posted on my
never.
4th business anniversary. And I'm now celebrating 10 years in business.
You kept.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it resonated with also a lot of people as well. I've met some really great mentees just from this post. I've met some really amazing friends now, business colleagues, because of this post, because it resonated with a lot of people, right? They're going and in the beginning of our conversation, when you started the summit this evening, you said, rise above the challenges and the struggle. What does that look like?
Yes.
And we're all rising above all our struggles. It may be different in different forms, but it's all struggles.
Yes, it is different forms.
Yeah.
Whew. You know, one thing I know about partnership and relationships, you don't have to risk getting hurt. I wrote this because I didn't know I was going to use this, but I knew me and you might have talked a little bit of this partnership. Yeah. You don't have to risk getting hurt by being vulnerable. The dream requires you, when you partner with someone, You got to get you some vulnerability and trust that. You don't have to sign an NDA. You might have to, but that doesn't stop people from talking and telling.
Yeah.
It has to be a spiritual connection. So the principles that Keisha and I and Jessica building Girl Go Be Great has been built on is love and support. A true definition of that doesn't have to interrupt money flow either.
Yeah.
Our money can flow together by absolute having love and intentional support. We could talk through the money.
Yeah.
We honor each other in every phase of the relationship. Keisha had an event. I want to go someplace next. Our relationship had many lessons. One of the next lessons was this relationship is give and give. So Keisha called me up, talked to Jessica, then got to me to talk about a big event she was in line to do. Big dollars too. I ain't talking about Keisha dollars. That's her decision to tell you her dollars. But it was big enough for me to get excited. I had to percolate myself to get ready to support her in a way that a company who's given a referral should. So this particular company contacted me, and I don't know what they thought they were going to get, but I'm sure they knew if Keisha was referring them that they want to get to make sure Keisha was all this yummy stuff they reading about. So when I finished with them, fire, baby. All I could think of is Keisha would have done the same for me, which she has for speaking engagement. But she and I had this agreement without it being written.
Yeah.
The dream builds partnerships that you don't have to write everything out. You got to start building relationships with people, women who help you percolate and protect you too. Okay, everybody grab that? Mm-hmm. Because the dream gets thwarted, Keisha, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it gets battered and bruised when you get wrong partnerships.
Absolutely. And you have to go through those bad partnerships as well. Like you're never going to get it on your first try. We know that too well.
We do.
Right?
We do. Another quick story, and we'll go move to the next thing. Keisha stood in for me when we did the Girls Your Life business conference right after the COVID, and we were in our very first time coming back live. Yeah. So Keisha said to me, gave me strategy, and Jessica, it takes both of them to get me in alignment. I wanted a room of 50 or more. Keisha's like, no, not the time, Lori. I need you, basically, listen, Lori, listen, Linda. So she basically gets me to listen, and it turned out perfectly. Jessica and I and us, we executed it perfectly. We had it at the Four Seasons. We went up to only work with women who were very, very, very serious. So the ticket pricing reflected that. The experience reflected that. So Keisha took over all the experience, her and Jessica, and I was to show up my best. Best content, best front room experience. That's my job. So in that, we invested quite a bit of money in order to make sure this event went where the women who were spending $500 on tickets. Keisha was in charge of, Keisha no longer sets up rooms. She directs people to do so. See how your dream evolves?
Yeah.
How did that feel, Keisha, when you had to recognize that your dream expanded and you no longer was willing to accept, I set up rooms because she's great at that, but that's no longer what she did? When did that expansion take place for you?
I feel like it's the structure in my business and the levels that you want to go to, right? And we do have to start from somewhere. Like I did start setting up rooms, putting up backdrops, doing sweet tables. But as you are growing and expanding, you want to be focused on a lot more other things than the other things. So me having people and hiring people, like I tell people now, I'm an event planner. I used to be an event decor stylist. I no longer do that. I hire people now to execute my vision, give direction. And it's not as if I am above anyone. We're on the same playing field, but you're expanded now, you're growing. you hire people now to do these things. It feels almost freeing in a sense. You
So
know,
the
that you're
dream should
able,
free.
yeah, so you're able to do other things in your business and grow other areas of your business.
Tanisha
Right?
said freedom as well.
Yeah.
So we all agree. I want y'all to catch this, girl greatness, and those of you will see this on the replay. As the dream expands in the dream word, it should be decisions made around freedom. That's how you stay in action. When you feel free to do more of what you want to do versus what you got to do in the dream, that's when it gets really exciting as well.
And that doesn't happen overnight either, right? As we
No,
say, we've been through some stuff. It doesn't happen overnight.
it comes with lessons. It comes
Yeah.
with continuation and learning. We've been hearing that out of every powerhouse dream talk. So then that leads to the question of, because you were in that role and had expanded in that role, you kept my dream alive. Because you said to me, it's time, Lori, you don't be doing all that.
Yeah.
So I came and you mentioned this to me, you and Jessica, that my content was so solid. I
You
was
just
so
got to show
impressed.
up.
Say it again.
You just got to show up.
Yes, that's all I had to do. It was so scary, everybody. Like, I'm used to doing a lot. Keisha helped me also decide how much stuff we wasn't putting on tables. I used to have all the stuff. I still have stuff. She can't take all my stuff. But she helped me learn some valuable things about freeing myself up to do my magic in the dream. So one of the keys to success is being in the process of simple, in a simple act. A simple act will change the way you navigate in your dream work.
But the question is, though, I'm going to ask you this.
Yes.
What did that feel like for you to be able just to show up while Jess and I and our other team members ran the show? Because, you know, you're used to having your hands in a lot of the stuff that you do. It is your business. It is your company. What did that feel like for you just to show up and knowing that everything was taken care of?
It was an unexpected awakening. I didn't know you was going to ask me that, but I wrote this down. That's crazy. Just too connected. It was an unexpected awakening.
Yeah.
My consciousness awoke. And it happens. I wrote all this down, Keisha. That's why you see my pen underlining it. My consciousness awoke. I was about to share what happened with me. And then you ask. That's just so, ooh. And it happens to be continuing today. As I'm working on 25 and 27, talking to the team about this idea of simple acts. I didn't hire a team because I had all this money I wanted to throw around everybody. Payroll, I think, is tomorrow, Jessica, isn't it? Okay. But I hired the team in believing that my dream is about to expand, and I am not going to get stuck in the same old story. We start out tonight about a dream and a new story. I want a new story, Keisha.
Yeah.
And you helped me start that new story. Jessica works with me daily on that new story. And each of you, if you're working on the next expansion of you in the dream, you need a Keisha Pinto in your life, but so does Keisha. I keep in mind that the ideal partner also is willing to bring their partner with them in the expansion and making it a simple act for you as well. So we're looking at how we budget you in. We can't do this next global thing without a Keisha Pinto, and I'm not looking for another one. I'm sorry. I just can't. Not right now. So you don't need to even try asking me to do that. And I mean that seriously. The real magic in what we're talking about right here is the simple acts that changes everything in the dream. Keisha made a decision. She no longer touches it all. But we did have a little tidbit problem. We hired a girl out. Keisha interviewed her too. She showed up with an intention, but her intention shift when she got there. She got excited about the content. It took Keisha to share that with me because it felt like you ate my food, you drank my drink, you sitting down, and you want to get paid. Now, come on now. You get to do that if we give you permission to do that. Keisha never did that. So I'm talking to Keisha and Jessica. I got a little loud, just a little bit. And then they two looking at me like, don't you dare. I was like, She put the wrong stuff on the table. What do y'all mean? What is it? Because I was so used to having my hands on it. Let's talk about this big thing, Keisha, before we go. We're going to bring in Dina, Haja Dina, after you, because we all need to close out on this.
Yeah.
How do we get in a space to regulate all this stuff going on in our bodies? So before we bring her on and the power of essential oils, I want to talk about a potential strategy with you. You strike a really important balance, right? You've taken a lot of important action and you've built a lot of partnerships. I want you to help all of us. Tell us the cycle of how that works. The successes and failures of building partnerships with intention. Because you're making moves in that. You really are. Right? You got free trips all around the. I'm getting in your bags. I said, that's it. That's not one more trip. You see, you put on your social, who's going with me in 25? I put the love sign, let you know, yeah, I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that. That's so interesting, but it's also so vital.
Yeah.
Women don't know how to do that in the dream. They just stop the dream because they get stuck in limbo.
Yeah. You said a very important word. First of all, intention. I do a lot of my stuff intentionally. I am very intentional now with the things I do, the partnerships I make. Anything I do it with intention. And do you know yourself? Do you know your business? These partnerships you're willing to create, is it aligning with the things that you want to do in your business to expand, maybe locally or globally? What does that look like on each end of this partnership? Is it just a take, or is it give and take, to build together? And like I said, these things don't happen overnight. We've been through situations where we've partnered with people. It just didn't work out, right? How intentional are you? What are the expectations? How are we both benefiting from this collaboration or this partnership? Are we now a team, or am I just Keisha here in Canada, you there in the US, or you there in Jamaica? Are we in alignment? That's huge.
That is.
And everything is strategy as well. How's my strategies and principles able to assist you in expanding and growing your business, and vice versa? What can I take from you? What can you take from me? How do we put these principles and strategies together to build one big thing?
Oh, one big thing. So that goes to my final point. We got a big thing we're working on. I can't see you not in it. So I did something that, and Jessica and I've discussed it, we got to expand our resources, and we're talking financial resources. So for every woman who's an entrepreneur listening to this right now, and you get a whiff of this, when you expand your partnerships, when you expand your base, you also got to expand your mindset for resources. You can't ask someone to come in and give you caviar and you don't like the way it tastes, or you can't, you decided you don't want to afford it.
Yeah.
When we get into 25, what is the big dream for you? Because I know the big dream for me, and each of you need to be knowing your big dream. Our team is going to send out a link to those who VIP'd, and we're going to be doing a co-working session. We're going to be working on the right strategy, wrong strategy for your next dream.
Yeah.
And some women are going to have an idea where to start, and that's why she's coming into the co-working session with me. But what's your big dream for the next year ahead?
My big dream is to continue making bold moves.
Okay.
You're not going to get anywhere without making bold moves. I take every opportunity that presents itself in every situation and space that I am in. I never think of no, and even if it's no, okay, we move on to the next. But I believe in making bold moves, whatever that may look like, personally and professionally, because you never know. You never know. I went to this fam trip in Jamaica at the Jamaica Bridal Expo. I was very intentional in what I wanted to do while I was there. I was intentional in the people I wanted to speak with. And when I stepped in that space, everyone noticed me, as we talked about, right? I got opportunities that no one probably would have taken, but I made a bold move and everything worked out for me. I got to interview iconic music artists from Canada,
I saw
the
you.
tourist board members, the top tier vendors and suppliers in Jamaica, because I made bold moves.
Woo.
I don't know what everybody else is doing, not my problem, but I made bold moves because I knew what my business was going to look like and where I wanted to go, what the expansion for me looked like. So my
Ooh, that's
dream is
it.
to continue to make bold moves.
Keisha, that's a new t-shirt. I made bold moves. This is what I'm talking about, girl. Greatness. Make me do my lips like that. I ain't gonna be able to sleep. I'm gonna probably take a little something. If you were depressed coming into these 3 days, 4 days, you should be at this moment feeling a comfy feeling that you were in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely.
Keisha, you are a jewel. You're special. And when there are adversities and challenges that come your way, I believe your specialness, it overrides. It clears the space because we all got them. But I just believe that for you. I believe that because I've experienced you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cheering for you.
Thank you.
I want you on my team. Other women need you on their team. I think Sue is getting ready for a big conference in 25. All her friends asking her, when is the conference date? And she getting that pressure, when they start asking when is the conference, she's going to have a fabulous conference because she's powerful. I told Sue, I dropped this. I said, friends, no friends. So let's get together and see what the friend discount look like. There's ways. Shout out to Sue. Shout out. And Tanisha might be still here. She can tell Sue we said this. But each one of you understand that the more you build your network, the more your network builds your net worth. If you do it with the way that Keisha and I are talking about it. Is there any final things you want to share, Keisha, as they can get the QR code and schedule to maybe do the next big thing with you? Noah Corporation, Noah International Event, but anything you would like to share and close us out with. We're going to be bringing Hajadina to close us out with balancing all this through nature and essential oils.
I just want to say one thing. Just as long as you believe in yourself and your dream is yours. God gave it to you and no one else. It is yours. He will send you the people to execute it. But just believe in yourself and your vision. I can be reached you scan the QR code, www.keishapinto.com, Keisha Pinto events on social media. And I'm here. I also mentor as well, right? I have a great group of mentees that show amazing results. There's value in mentorship as well, right? But just believe in yourself and your vision. It is yours. It is yours.
There's value in mentorship. Can we say that like 30 more seconds?
There's value in mentorship.
Tell them why.
As mentors, we transform lives. We impact lives. We guide, right? I could only teach on things that I have experienced. I can't tell you anything I haven't done or experienced. And I mentor for my mentees to be better than me. Better than me. That's great mentorship. When my mentees can surpass me. And that should be the goal for any mentor.
She get real serious. I don't know if y'all see her. She did. And I met some of her mentees. And I watched one and I heard her story. She has 5 children. But she's not running it like she has 5 children. She's learned a lot about herself because I heard her in a previous event. And then I saw her at Keisha's 10-year anniversary. And so each of you who's joining right now, maybe you're looking at the replay. What we're talking about and what we've talked about is a journey from a woman who started at the beginning, And you know, as they say, started from the bottom, now I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that really means. And we don't wake up like this.
Yeah.
We're
It doesn't
constantly,
happen overnight.
no. And that is the truth. It doesn't happen
Mhm.
overnight. You've heard that before. There's a laundry list of possible failures. Failing is an option too. But what we believe is that life falls far below the standard in which you place. So if you place that standard right there, that's where it's going to fall. You're going
That's
to
right.
need people to pick you up. You're going to need people to show you things. We got to get and break through. I don't need help. I don't need support. I know all that I know. It was said
Mm-hmm.
earlier. You only know what you know. I
Yeah,
think
that's
Tanisha
right.
shared that.
Mm-hmm.
Mentee, mentorship is important. And Keisha will tell you that her mentees, they're soaring.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
soaring. Thank you, Keisha, for being with us. Say hello to your
Thank
parents for
you.
me.
Absolutely.
Kiss your
Thank you. And
mommy.
thank you for having this. And thanks to all the ladies that came on and shared their stories and their gems and their valuable information. It's just
Thank you.
absolutely amazing with the 3 days.
It has
Job
been.
well done.
Thank you so much, Keisha. See, if she didn't give me something, I was going to ask her, how did I do, Keisha?
Job well done, Lori.
Oh my God, what am I going to do with these women in my life? Kiss the boys. Tell them
I
Auntie
will.
Lori says she'll see them very shortly.
I will.
And I know you're getting ready for December in Jamaica. Please make sure we get the link so we can send it out to the email community. There are people all across the world that want to give to children, not that they have to know them. We want to be
Yes.
a part, really big part this December. Okay.
Awesome. Thank
In
you.
addition to that, we want to thank you for showing up. We appreciate your gems. They were powerful. You can always feel a woman who's truly been doing the work. You all just, it just eases out of you. You never have to compromise when you really are living in your truth. Thank you for living in your truth and
Thank
being a
you.
great
Thank you,
professional.
Tanya.
She's so in love with you. Like these women over here is on fire. So we're going to close out. Stay around for a few minutes. We're going to be just about
Absolutely.
5, maybe 7 more minutes.
Yep.
We're going to close out with Hajadina sharing with something that I believe every woman needs to close out tonight. Thank you so much. Okay, we at the end. This is it, and I don't know if I can handle it. Jessica, bring Hajadina on the screen because I am ready for that good, yummy stuff. I was thinking about her today. Ooh, look at those colors. Ooh, let me see those colors.
Whew.
Put my glasses back on because my eyes saying it. Welcome in, Hajadina.
Thank you, Lori. Welcome, welcome, welcome to us.
Welcome to us. What a woman I love. What a woman I believe in. You look so pretty.
Thank you. I got my camera together.
Oh, it's shining. It's shining, girl greatness. That camera's shining. Let's jump right in. It's late. We want women to know that we honor her late, you know, not being up too late. And we want to get you right in. So I'm going to let you take lead. Tell us what it is we needed to know. That last part we didn't get to finish last night.
Well, you had asked me to do the 4 windows, so I
Yep,
wanted to mention that. And then I wanted to get really just break down the oils that I think women need or I have found to be very synergetic in getting people to shift and move into different places and spaces that they may not even know exist, right?
let's go.
So the 4 windows. So window number one, and this concept I learned a long time ago, and then when I got ready to use it, I was more receptive to it because you can be open. You're always open for learning, but when you receive it, when you're more receptive, it comes in. So window number one is it's called the 4 windows, and window number one says things that people know about you that you know about yourself, right? Like your name, the car that you drive, right? Your eye color, right? Those are things that people know about you. You also know about yourself. Window number two says things that people know about you that you may not know about yourself, right? No, I'm sorry. Window number two says things that you know about yourself that other people may not know,
That's
like how
correct.
much money you have in the bank, right? What
Okay.
your favorite restaurant is, what your favorite food is. So you have that window number one, things people know about you, you know about yourself. Window number two, things that you know about yourself that people may not know. So that's kind of like surface, right? It's like right up here. It's like that like I said, surface. And then when you get, because as I was working with Lori, it began to get deeper and deeper and deeper. So window number three and window number four is where I lived. I lived in those windows when I was going, as I said before, doing those 2 years of saying yes to everything that I thought would impact my business and following along some of the crazy stuff that Lori was having us do as individually and as a group, right? So window number three, now this is where it gets really deep. Window number three says things that other people know about you that you don't know about yourself. And when you're in that place and space, you have an opportunity to grow when you listen to the people that are in your corner. I'm not talking about people that don't know you. I'm talking about your girls, right? I'm talking about people who love you, respect you, and appreciate you. When they tell you things like, girl, you could cook, you need to open up a restaurant, or you're good with teenagers, you need to open up a mentoring organization, or you're really good with elder people, older people in our community. You need to really work with senior citizens, right? Believe them. Believe them, because I think if we begin to believe the people that Allah has put in our place and space to support us, we will be a lot further along than I know I would have been, and Allah knows best, right? We would be further along. And then this window right here is where where I went to those conferences and took my husband all over and,
Yep.
and met people that I did not know and just opened up to a whole nother way of thinking and looking at my business and looking at people. And that's window number four, where there's things that you don't know about yourself, nor do other people know about you. And the only way you're going to learn those things about yourself is through a conference, read a book, get a mentor, get a coach. That's those. So that window number three and window number four is where if you spend some time in those windows, you will elevate yourself to a different level. You'll show up differently. And I think somebody, I don't know if it was in a comment or I heard it during this summit. Somebody said that when you begin to stretch and grow, you show up differently. You can't go back. You just
Yes.
can't go back. And when you begin to live in window number two, and window number three, and
Three.
window number four, that's what happened. That's what happened to me. So you'll hear people say, "Oh, you look different," or you know, you acting different now. No, it didn't just happen all of a sudden. But yes, I am differently because it's a journey, right? It's a journey. So with all of that being said, I began to use the oils intentionally. I was doing a lot of experiments on my family. Will tell you some of the experiments I did with the oils on them. They'll talk about that another time. But what I realized is that lemon, lavender, and peppermint, they have when I say synergy, like that working together, right? That connection. So lemon is very cleansing, and I like when I do workshops, I like to have women bring a lemon, or I'll have lemons passed out, or I have lemon pills, because I want people to understand that not all oils are created equal, and most oils that we get in markets are not authentic. They're not real oils. They're synthetic. They're made in a lab, and you can take pieces of the oils, like the constituents, the bits and pieces of an oil, and break it down and spread it out and make it so that it smells like that. You can duplicate it, but you can't, what is it? You can imitate it, but you can't duplicate it, or however that goes.
Yeah.
Not what It's not the way Allah intended us to use it. So this is a lemon, and the lemon peel, if you actually peel the lemon, that oil that you get on your hands is what is in a lemon bottle, right? So lemon is very cleansing, and cleansing in the sense that it when we take in toxins like the air that we breathe, sometimes the food that we eat, if you're using a lot of plastics or styrofoam to heat your food or receive your food in, that's a petrochemical. That's a chemical. So the heat breaks that down. And when you take it in, it's chemicals in your body,
Yeah.
right? So the lemon has the ability to break that down and break it out, and it moves out of your system. So I'll tell people, when you're using lemons, when you're using lemon oil, I drink lemon oil, not every morning, but most mornings. I do a lot of garden spaces, and sometimes the gardens don't have, bathrooms. So it's kind of difficult to get up and do that every morning, because lemon will cleanse. It's getting rid of the impurities that are in your body. Now, if you're a person who doesn't eat a lot of junk, and you eat a lot of healthy, foods, you're plant-based, then you won't have the experience of urinating a lot. Your stool will change, your skin will change. You may even break out a little bit, right? Because your body is eliminating impurities in your system. So that's what lemon will do for you. And then you have peppermint, right? Peppermint is, when I was started doing the oils too, I was thinking about signature oils, right? So geranium is the signature oil for Natural Ground One, and I was thinking, well, what about a men's oil, right? Peppermint is an excellent men's oil, because peppermint has the ability to well, it's good for everybody, but a lot of times when our men come home, they're drained, and sometimes they're depleted. Peppermint has that ability to invigorate and pick you up, and it's a good mental stimulant. It allows you to think a lot of times, right? It's really good for if you have to do testing and study, and not so much for memory, but really from a stimulation of the brain. I had to take this morning, and I had to take it a little while ago, like we talked about the other night, raising your vibration. It's been a really long week, and it's only Wednesday. So I use peppermint, right, for that. And then lavender is an oil that I really love. This is one of my top 10 oils, because lavender calms you, right? But it's the type of calming where if you need to go to sleep, it will help you with that. It will help you with sleep. But if you need to, sometimes we have a lot of people now who are just heightened for whatever reason. I don't want to. It's going past anxiety. It's just heightened levels of movement. Not only in just moving, but just your mind. You can't even rest your mind, right? So lavender has the ability to just rest you. It has the ability to calm you, but calming you in a sense that if you have things to get done, you can get things done. It kind of brings you, it balances you. Lavender, for me, it's a balancer as well as a calming oil. So you put these three oils together. I'm not even going to mention the thieves oil. Well, I will mention, I just mentioned it, but thieves oil is a cleansing oil, right? It's also a cleanser, and it helps boost your system if you need to bring, if you need a mental boost, or a cleanse, lavender, I'm not lavender, listen to me, frankincense. That's another one. I thought that one. That was another one, but frankincense is, that's more of a spiritual oil. But thieves has the ability to help you balance your immune system. It really has the ability to balance that system. So those are the three. Like I said, I'm not really focusing too much on the thieves oil, because when I do the thieves oil, I want to introduce that whole cleaning line, because thieves has a whole cleaning line, like how you clean your home, right? Because most of the toxins that we get in our system comes from our cleaning products and our personal care products, right? And that's why lemon is so important. If you're using a lot of chemicals, if you're using a lot of makeup, colognes, and you're eating not so much of a plant-based diet, then you need to get rid of those toxins that build up in your system. And a good time to really kind of do a cleanse, or start a cleanse, or maybe change your diet. I was talking to someone about this today. The seasons are changing now, right? So you want to change what you're doing, because the seasons are changing. So why not you? So this is a good time to change your eating habits. If you want to fast, if you want to do a detox, if you want to do a cleanse, during the change of the seasons is a time to do that, because you're in harmony. We talked about that the other night briefly. You're in harmony with the seasons and what's going on. So that was it, Lori. Thank you so much.
I can sit with Dina. You see me, I couldn't try to interrupt you if I tried, because I knew tonight bringing this part was so important. I get excited every time I hear you when you're inside of that dream teaching. You're a dream teacher. Like you really do teach in a way where women can really get excited about the understanding. It's invigorating. You can see everyone, right? That Dina is very, I'm talking about you right now. I'm talking to the women, girl greatness. You can see when you look at Dina, you don't see age. You don't know her age. She don't have a problem telling you, but you don't really see it. It's hard to predict it or find it on her. You don't see and you don't hear it. You don't hear weathering because she's learned how to keep grounding herself, nourishing herself, reinvigorating, raising her energy and her vibration and her frequency through spiritual grounding and this use of psychological understanding, grounding, as well as when you use oil, that's a medicinal. Those are her secrets. Of course, family, love, respect, and all of the rest of how this whole picture works together. Most of us did not learn first how to love ourselves really deep down, Dina. So we this is all new for us, right? Talking about someone sitting and hoping and sitting and waiting. That's the way we grew. And so I don't expect women to really know this stuff. Right. That's the reason why this is the stuff.
Yeah.
This is the stuff.
About, yes. Yeah. And what I learned, Lori, when I did my year-long gardening program and I introduced the character strengths that we talked about. Remember, I told you when you first introduced that, I just did it because it was a action work that we did. I really didn't get into the character strengths like those the real like those 27, right? I didn't. It just said that it could be done. But when I did my year-long course and the women, I did that for them. I had them take the character strengths course. It really was so deep, that it was just a deeper dive into who they were. It kind of confirmed who they were. And it was so doing those kinds of things, like you were saying, women don't know themselves. I think Keisha had mentioned that too, and that they don't love themselves. When you begin to take these things that we're going to be talking about and we've talked about over these 3 or 4 days, you begin to love yourself, you begin to understand, and you can't move forward. You can't do but so much if you haven't released some of the things that are not serving you.
Because you sit inside of trying.
Yeah.
You sit inside of hoping. Yep. And you sit inside of this fantasy of it all.
Yeah. And you're not sure who you are.
You don't know. And we have to learn it. Shout out to Sue. Sue says she's still here. I'm loving it. Tanya Gilly, I'm loving it. And the women we can't see, because I can't see the whole scroll because the women are joining from Facebook. And shout out to the Facebook women. I went back out there yesterday, and women that I knew have been in my community so long, they've enjoyed learning. So I hope that right in this moment, it clicks for her. Oh, that's what's happening with me getting my dream into action. I need some essential oils. Yeah. I need to know which window I'm operating in. Keisha,
and you have to release. You have to release. And a release is like, some people think when they say release, you think of like just fleeing your arms out, like, right, just fanning. But a release comes from inside as well. And there are impurities that are sitting in our system because of the toxicity that we take in knowingly and unknowingly that's blocking. Like, I didn't really know that lemon, not only is it that will change your urine, your stool, and everything else, but it's also a good stimulant for the brain. I had, when I did that, remember when we did Infuse Your Life? You took that course with me, Infuse Your Life with essential oils.
I did.
And that one sister came in and she was saying how lemon was making her like think her brain was, she was more clear. I was like, oh, wow, we didn't know that, right? Because the oils are so intelligent.
I remember that specifically.
Yeah, we would meet every Sunday morning from 7 to 8, right?
Yep, 7 a.m.
For a whole month. But the oils have the ability to know what your body needs. Because remember, we talked about our bodies have frequencies. So do oils. And wherever your frequency is low, the oil will match it.
It'll match. Oh, I'm so
It'll
glad we
match
got
it.
there.
Yeah, it'll
Yes,
match it. And it
that's
will
it.
do things for you that you don't even think you need. That's why some people like what take peppermint, but they take the muscle. Some people use peppermint when they work out.
Stay right there real quick, Dina, because y'all heard this. You see how that tied in back to the windows? The oil, that particular oil, knew where to meet the body. The
Yes,
body
absolutely.
didn't
They all do
know,
that.
but the oil knew.
That's right.
So if we're
Yep.
talking about struggling with action, there are many reasons, and I talked about this early on, but I think we've covered quite a bit of them. How to get you in action and what could be stopping your action.
Yep.
And this one right here, grounding. I know Dina is celebrating me and proud of me. She sees it on me. I have nothing against anyone that wants to take weight loss supplement, Ozempic, and the rest of them, Contrave, and all the names. I'm just not. I'm not. It's not settling in my body to get the weight off of me, the menopausal weight, that way.
Yep.
So I had tools, and I said, "What if I don't try the tools and apply the tools and work the tools? Then how would I know if those tools really do work?" So I'm going to put them together. All I got to do now is order my oils because I'm out. I'm going to add those into my regimen, and I'm going to see where the end holds. I'm already looking and feeling better, and I am not taking not one weight loss supplement.
Mm-hmm. So
Why
you've
am I
already
sharing?
made your decision. You've already made your intention. So you're halfway there. You are
Exactly.
halfway
That's what I
there.
wanted to talk. That's
Yep.
exactly what I wanted to end
Yep.
with. So
And
what Dina offers is a book you a free 15-minute consult, The Journey to Wellness. When I say she is the one, and you know what I love about Dina, I'll close here on this. She doesn't come with I'm gonna say it. She doesn't come with the fake woo 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 and whoa 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 and woo 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 whoa 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 whoa. There are a lot of people faking wellness because it's $1 trillion industry. It is important that you trust your body and your wellness, like working with Tanisha for faith. The way she talked about 10 minutes at night with your skin, just I'm ready to go in there and do something with my skin tonight. I mean, I am ready to get out of my makeup, I'll be very honest. But I am very excited about what I'll learn new. I've used Mary Kay. I've also used some stuff off of Beverly Hills. I'm trying to figure out what my skincare regimen really needs to be at this age with my skin. And so when I think about skin, I think about house products, which me and Jessica talked about really just letting go. I've tried some products I've come away from all the old products. These are the things that really stop us. We don't know that we're full of toxins. And we don't know that toxicity slows down the brain cells. And we have what I call the sidestep. We don't know we're sidestepping until we actually miss a step.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't trace it back. So like Dr. Norma said, assess. Each speaker has bought something so valuable. Thank you, Dina.
You're welcome, Lori.
You look amazing. You made a big decision. We'll close with that, I promise. You made a big decision to not host your conference this year.
Yes.
This is your dream conference.
Yes.
Really quickly, like 1 minute. Why did you decide to trust your body when your body said no?
Well, I've learned from you and the book, there's power in the pause, right? Life is very full for me. I have been stretched since like March. And there's so many different pieces to what I do. I just needed to pause and try to put it all together so I can package it and market it better. And I knew that I could have done the conference because I knew that I had you and Jessica there to support me, as well as other, sisters in my community to support me. But I looked at myself first. And I could not come to the sisters, to the conference, to you and Jessica with only a portion of me and just leaving it all for y'all to do.
You can
I
stay right
wanted
there.
to-
Stop. Just stop. I want to hold that. Or you got to finish because you want to be whole.
No, because I wanted to be more present, and I would not have been present. A lot has been saying to me and that I need to be more present. I need to slow down. Yes, people have that window number 3. things that people know about you that you don't know about yourself. So I'm believing those people. I'm believing people when I'm believing Miss Donna when she said I can take over, or not take over, but be board chair of her board, right? I'm believing South Ward Strong that I can help and support running that garden space and another garden space and another garden space and doing this and doing that and doing that. So I'm trusting that window number 3, and I could not be present for everyone and everything. So I decided to be present for myself first, and then everything else will fall into place because I have my oils to keep me balanced. I have, family to keep me balanced. I have my coach to keep me balanced. I have my operations manager to keep me balanced. So I'm surrounding myself with people that I trust and are telling me that you could do this.
This
You can
is so
do it.
golden. I
You
want
can
like
do it.
100,000 women listening to this. So I got
Yeah.
a new dream on this thing. So listen, in closing, Dina will be unboxing her brand new Whole Wellness Woman. Whole Wellness Woman. I love when I say it. Whole Wellness Woman box. It is a wellness box like no other box. And it has very important things in it, not the play things. You can play with 1 or 2 things in the box. And we can't take everything in the box. But it's coming 3 weeks and 3 weeks. And there's going to be a opportunity for you to get what you need. And there's one thing in the box that she worked on for a year to get this thing.
Yeah.
And we can't tell them what it is yet, Dina.
Well, it's been longer than that. It was like since the big eye. Well, I think it was no, it wasn't part. It was in the making in the big idea. It's been in the making.
Yes, and it is an incredible box with some things that will keep you on track and some things to keep you moving. And this is where it gets exciting. Dreams do come true. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, Hajadina. I'm going to close out. It'll take me 2 minutes.
Excuse me?
I was telling Jessica I'm closing out with you, and I'll be closing out for everyone in 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam, Lori.
Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you all. You've been incredible tonight, but you've been incredible for 4 days. We kicked off on the Dream into Action Summit on the 27th. And I want to end with this very important note. A girl can't be great unless she's surrounded by other great girls. And I'm surrounded by great girls that believed in me to say, yes, I believed in you. We're in this together. And for those women who were unable to attend and you're looking at the replay in this moment, you can have just exactly what we've outlined for you. We hope that you got the practical applications that you needed, the insights, your inspiration is up, your momentum starts to move, but reach out. Each one of us possess something that you could use in your life right now. What you can't do is not do nothing. If you know you need a better skin regimen, you know you want to have more beauty on the external that moves in the internal, because I know that that's how it works. You need to reach out. You got her name. She's right here. Tanisha, right here. If you're in Canada, right, and you see this, because we have a lot of women in Canada in our database, when we put this out and we package everything up, reach out to Sue. Your financial health is a core value to who you are in the world, right? It doesn't say how much money you make. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about financial health. Sue shared a story when her sister passed, and she talked about insurances and how it made things better for them to walk through that process of putting her sister to rest and a family in mourning and healing. We underestimate these things. These are the reasons why we dream. We don't dream just to play. We dream to create playful experiences. I have a dream, and I have a dream of being a woman that leaves this world in legacy, a woman that leaves this world richer than what I came in, that I may be able to go support girls across the globe. We got a program coming out, my daughter and I, and this program is part of our heart space. We believe that we are here for something much deeper. We thank you, Natasha Clark from the UK, as you drove into this conversation that many women have when she works with her husband or work with her partner. And that partner and her did this work, but now she has other work she want to do. She has a dream of her own. How that really works is such a fine, very fine line. You shared how that works, and we appreciate you. We appreciate what we're going to do in the UK, how we set up this new place. Girl Go Be Great's coming to the UK, Africa, and Canada to set up entrepreneur training development hubs. How we're going to do that will be with partners like you. We thank you so much for each of you that showed up in this moment. Hajadina, you've been incredible. Keisha Pinto, you make me get a warm and fuzzy every time. Thank you so much to every woman, Dolores Gray, for being the next politician that we'll read about. You started the state board of education, but that ain't where you're really gonna end. That dream, I kind of saw it. Yeah, we could use you in the world. A woman of integrity and belief in other women and children and girls. Each one of you possessed something in this moment that was life-changing, and no one can refute that when a woman show up in her greatness, every woman has to be changed. We had Julia Pimser with us today. This woman has, literally created over $30 million. She's in the noon session. You want to grab that session, right? Her book is Go Big Now. You want to grab her session. My daughter was unable to be with us tonight. She had a full day in which I asked her to give herself permission to honor her body. She's a part of being what is called an auntie mom. She's also a part of being operations manager for clients as well as our company. And I can't tell you how often it is that I heard Dr. Stephanie Morrow when she said, it takes time. She also talked about, I truly believe that energetic flow of the way the new earth is built and the way we'll have to flow in it. And I asked Jessica, as I was thinking it through, to flow in it. I asked Jessica to do something that I, need to honor more of myself. And so I missed her tonight. We had something real special planned, but we'll catch her on the rebound. Sharmitria Johnson showed up. She's my stylist. She's helped me in ways that I can't even really, put into words what's going on with this hair of mine, but I can say this. Exfoliating, the cleansing of my scalp has changed my perspective on what was really important to the growth of my hair. But then I apply that to my dreams and I apply that to everything I'm doing in my life. Exfoliate, Lord, exfoliate, clean that stuff out. And Dr. Hollis, Dr. Norma Hollis, I think we all could say she bought it in and bought it home and turned it up and turned it all the way around. We miss Allie Kincaid today. She's in the UK. We just had a major scheduling conflict and we wish her the best and we will get her in a future conversation. For each of you, again, thank you so much. For those of you who are VIP, we will be having the co-working session set up. You'll get a link for next week. You'll be able to join me and we'll be in a special session working on your dream plan for 2025. What right strategies, what wrong strategies. That is invaluable time with me. For those of you who are going to be getting your Dreamers box, that'll be coming out Monday, a link with the code. Get your box. For those of you who are interested in being our partners, support at LoriPelzer.com. My team in Africa is asleep where they should be. Shout out to Ope, who handles social media. She's been to college twice. She does meta work and SEO work and all of this incredible things around the digitizing. I'm excited about where we're growing to. We have Purity. Purity is a global partner. She does a lot of that work. I met her at a pitch when I was speaking in Innovate Nigeria. She definitely was both of Ope and Purity. I knew we had something special when we connected. We made a commitment to go the distance together. We've been working together now almost over 7 months. And I'm excited to have Kamathi, which is our customer service and growth manager, who you've been talking to by email. She is what many people will call a VA, but much more than that to us. We're getting ready to have our team meeting, in either we're going to Bali, Africa, or we're going to an event in Cali, and Keisha will be in touch. I'm excited about what's ahead for us. I'm excited about what's ahead for you. I'm excited about what I know is dreaming into new actions, creating a new dream story. It's been my pleasure serving you here at Girl Go Be Great. From us to you, girl, you go be great. And I'll see you on the other side in your greatness. Good night.